Hey folks, Jeff of World Class Bullshitters here. Just wanted to let you know about Incarnate Studios. You haven't heard of them? Well, they help sponsor the show and keep us afloat. They make really great t-shirts, like Shitbusters, which is the official protest shirt of the 2016 farce. They also got Donald Trump, Blow Hard, and Hillary Clinton, Blow Hard 2, Blow Harder. Poo and politics not your thing? They got shirts from video games, TV shows, movies, horror, and the best part is, they add new shirts twice a week, so keep checking back to see what's coming next. IncarnateStudios.com. And don't forget the hyphen. Good evening. Welcome to an extra special podcast here on World Class Bullshitters. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is Dion Green.
Baby, freaking baby. Not only am I having a good time on a Saturday night with a lot of pretty ladies, but yes, America, if you want me to give you a little shump on the side, I will.
Well, save that shump on the side for our members that request those hand jobs.
I can't promise anything.
Okay, good man. Up next, Dan Kane is here.
Yep.
Followed by our friendly neighborhood Samoan, Nick Udom.
Well, what's up, guys?
And finally, our resident DC Comics expert and everyone's favorite creepy uncle, Joel Hastings.
DC means desperate crap now.
Well, you pretty much figured out the undertones for tonight's episode. First up, we're going to talk about the Justice League trailer. It's only been out for roughly 5 hours. We've all seen it, and it's time to tell you what we all thought about it. So, Joel, you are the resident DC expert and creepy uncle. You go first. What did you think when you first saw the Justice League trailer?
Who edited this fucking shit? Stevie Wonder?
Stevie would have had at least a better song choice.
True. I mean, this thing was, like you said before when we talked, it's all over the place. Character depictions were just way off base. I mean, it's like the Flash was almost like a shut-in nerd. Aquaman was a ripoff of Namor's anger management issues. Cyborg looked like he was just there as the token black guy again.
He is.
I mean, this whole thing was just stupid.
It's trying to be the new 52 Justice League because, that's so great. But it's not, and even DC acknowledges that the new 52 was a failed experiment, and they're going back to this rebirth thing. They're bringing back classic Superman. They're bringing back all the shit that people liked. It's only these vocal minority motherfuckers that complain about, Superman and Batman wearing trunks outside their costume and all this other shit. So they listen to the vocal minority. The silent majority was happy the way it was, and now they have to go back and fix it because that vocal minority isn't buying comic books.
Did you see the flaw in just watching the trailer? Here's Bruce Wayne outwardly talking, picking up a hero to fight an upcoming battle. So if you see any news footage in the future of Aquaman fighting side by side with Batman, people are going to start connecting that Batman's Bruce Wayne.
Well, they're not thinking that far ahead because this is made by Zack Snyder and Warner Brothers, and their only concern is beat Marvel, which they're not going to fucking do it.
The only way they can beat Marvel is they reached their hands into their pants and started stroking them.
Well, that's
but
that's
we don't
a good
take
point.
Dion's job away.
Speaking of Dion, what did you think of this trailer?
It's a mixture, right? So for me, I think Jason Momoa is a great fucking choice. The opening I thought was really cool with the piano, but I think going back to that whole trying to beat Marvel, the trailer feels rushed. You know what I mean? It just feels like that second half of Batman vs Superman where there's so much shit shoved into it. Like you have Jason, for me, where he's talking to the old man in the beginning, and then Aquaman's randomly there. I'm just like, what? And then, I get, and they're trying to, you can tell that they're totally trying to make Aquaman into this loose cannon guy, which is so not Aquaman. it's kind of laughable because they're just like, we'll get Jason Momoa and then Aquaman will be cool. But then it's just like, Aquaman's drinking and shit, and Bruce Wayne is the recruiter for the Justice League. And going to what Joel said, it's just like at this point, Batman would never openly tell who he is from the fucking jump. And that's my only issue with the trailer. But, not only issue, but otherwise, like, even despite all that, I'm actually kind of excited. But then it wasn't, but looking back, it's not that good of a trailer. It really isn't.
I agree. Nick, what did you think? You're a filmmaker. What did you think, and how would you do it differently?
I'm not really familiar with the source material except for Batman and Superman. I kind of liked it, but the thing is that the thing with Bruce Wayne and the Flash, it felt like the exact same scene from Civil War to me a little bit, which was kind of weird. Like, it felt like the exact same thing with Tony Stark and Spider-Man. Like, it felt like that, and I was just like, wait, this is familiar. Somebody else did this better. Oh yeah, Marvel.
That's pretty much how I feel about DC's movies in general. But before I get into my rant, Dan, what did you think?
After watching it a second time just to make sure that I was watching the same shit, I can't believe that this has any likes at all, because it's pretty much feels like Batman vs. Superman, which was extremely...
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, that's the nicest thing you can say about Batman vs. Superman, but that's just me.
I do think that the only good thing about the trailer is they kept Superman dead so far.
See, I don't like that because the movie looks so small. For this to be the Justice League, this is supposed to be the granddaddy of all DC movies. There's supposed to be a build-up, but there isn't a fucking build-up. All there were two shitty movies about Superman. Then the third movie that's supposed to feature Superman doesn't even have the motherfucker that's been in the most movies you've produced. So,
but
way to go.
I feel like, and kind of building off of that, they're really over accentuating their powers. So like the trailer is showing Wonder Woman with the wrist gauntlets, and every time Flash does something, they're doing that electrical field thing.
That stupid electric, yeah.
Right, and then it's like, so it's like, and I know that a lot of people out there are going to be like, oh, well, they don't do anything for Batman. They're over accentuating the part that, hey, this is Bruce Wayne. He's okay with being Bruce Wayne, and he tells everyone. It's like, no, Batman didn't do that. Why? Because he didn't trust the other members of the Justice League. And even when he did, he only revealed his identity because his whole mentality with the Justice League was, if I ever go rogue, the thing to stop me is the Justice League. So it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't him. He wasn't this open guy like, Superman inspired me to be great, and I'm going to be great. And now I'm Bruce Wayne, and you guys should know me, and I trust you. Like, that's not who Batman was. And this trailer is so heavy-handed, and it's just, not only is it kind of bad, but it's distracting as shit. It really is. It's really distracting for the trailer.
And once again, it's way too gritty.
But is it gritty? It looks visually gritty because everything's gray and looks like you took a dump on it. But then you have music that's upbeat. It feels like the music to fucking Ocean's 11. It's like, let's assemble a team. And you got Brad Pitt and George Clooney fucking mucking it up for the camera. But instead you got Ben Affleck like, hey guys, I'm Bruce Wayne. What the fuck happened to Bruce Wayne since the last movie to this movie? He's like a whole different character. He was so down and dour, like, if there's even a 1% chance that he's an enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certain, blah, blah, blah. Now in this movie, he's fucking cracking jokes with Aquaman and all this other bullshit. Who the fuck is this guy?
Oh, no. Even at the end, he's like, so I hear you can talk to fishes. I was like, really? That's your response to the guy who could probably kill you right now?
And that's how you end the trailer?
That's how you end the trailer, yeah. It's like, the fuck are you doing? Like, even me, I'm just like, really, guys? Come on. Come on.
Things change when you find out someone else has a mom named Martha.
Why'd you use that name, Dan? Why'd you use that name?
It's his mother's name!
But the thing that's messed up, guys, and I think, Jeff, you very lightly touched on it, but it's a huge part. You know, when you brought up Marvel, you know who they're trying to make Batman out to be with the jokes?
Iron Man.
Thank you. They're making him into Tony Stark. And it's like, it's so weird because, Robert Downey Jr. can pull that off because he's fucking RDJ. He can pull that shit off. Ben Affleck, he's funny, he's charismatic. He can't be Robert Downey Jr. He can't do it. He just fucking can't. And you can't explain in a movie why he's willing to kill the most powerful person he's ever seen, and then the next movie he's friendly as fuck. That doesn't make any sense for the character. It doesn't. You can't explain that to me at all.
This whole thing is reactionary. This is DC's answer to the Avengers, because the Avengers was lightning in a bottle, but the Avengers was also 4 years in the making. By the time this movie comes out, it will be 4 years in the making, but it will also be 2 movies in the making, because Suicide Squad feels like a fucking separate movie out there, not even connected. And when does Wonder Woman come out? Does Wonder Woman come out before this?
Next year.
Okay, well...
Yep, they dropped the Wonder Woman trailer, too.
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
Jesus Christ. That's too much saturation. Fuck, really? Come on.
What does Marvel have coming out next year? Guardians of the Galaxy and Spider-Man. I think...
Then isn't Black Panther coming out next year, too?
I don't know. Dan, you'll have to fact-check that for the show, please.
Because I know it was originally November 2017, but I thought they moved it up after they got Wait, no, I think it's 2018. It's 2018. I'm almost positive. Dan, check it.
No, but Dion, you were talking about this humor. Okay, I may have not liked the tone of the last 2 DCEU films, but at least they were consistently bad with each other. This one looks so broken and jarring. Like, I'm going to go back to it. What the fuck is up with Batman? Joel, you've been a Batman fan for 36 years. Let's say you became a Batman fan in 1980 when you were reading comic books for the first time. Is Batman has he ever been so tonally different from one thing to the next?
No.
I didn't think so. I mean, people are going to, in the comments, will go, Adam West Batman. Well, in that Adam West universe, he's always the same, though. The same with Batman, the animated series Batman. He's always the same. It's not like one episode he's, like, serious, and the next episode he's fucking telling you jokes and buying you a cookie or something.
I mean, I'll say that the difference in the acting between Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, and George Clooney made Batmans were different. But that was because it was 4 different actors taking 4 different takes. 3 different actors with 3 different takes. This, he does it's like all of a sudden he has this bat epiphany, and I gotta be funny so people like me.
Yeah, that was so weird. Did you like his new costume?
I really didn't see much of it. I mean, everything was so. I saw more of Cyborg's bad costume.
Oh, Cyborg! Let's talk about Cyborg for a moment. Cyborg is the most out of place character in this movie.
Well, like, I mean, I've seen.
Well, he's only in the trailer for like. What's his only line? Oh, I thought you weren't real or something. And it's like, you're half robot. Why would you assume he isn't fucking real? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's just like, I don't know, Nick. Like, as someone who makes a movie, do you do that in movies where one character is an exception to the rule, but the other character that they interact with is also an exception to the rule, where they're like, oh, I don't believe you. Like, do people fucking do that?
No. That doesn't make sense, because then you're breaking the whole like arc of the group, and it doesn't work at all. Because then what we're gonna have is people split up between the characters. But even then, like the way I saw his effects or his cyborg suit, I've watched a little bit of the cartoon, like bits and pieces, mind you, and it looks exactly like that, exactly like a cartoon.
Well, that's the messed up thing, because like even. I finally finished the Justice League cartoon. I've been watching it for a while, but even then, I feel like it's a weird combination where they're trying to not follow the comics, but they're trying to emulate the relationship they had in the cartoon, and it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like it's like they're trying to recreate the animated magic, but not the comic book magic. And there's this weird. I don't know if it's just me, but. Like, maybe just because I just finished the series, but, they're trying to be like, oh, well, Batman is really funny in this trailer, but then in fucking Batman vs. Superman, he's trying to be really scary, but he's with the other superheroes, and there's this fake, I'm trying to be personable thing going on. The trailer was so weird, guys. It was really fucking weird.
It was. I was taking a dump on the toilet when I was watching this, and I was like,
You were
What-
watching a dump.
I was watching it. No, honestly, the first thing I thought of, though, is, what is this? Like, what is this trying to be? This sure as shit isn't what the Justice League normally is. And, the ardent defenders are going to say, oh my god, guys, you don't even know what the Justice League's supposed to be like. You know what? A great representation, Dion, was that fucking cartoon. If I was in control of this somehow, I would just mimic
The cartoon had it perfect.
the tone of the original Justice League series. So the first 2 seasons. Not Justice League Unlimited, because that wouldn't work on film yet.
Go ahead, sorry.
I really don't have anything else to add. Go ahead.
Well, a perfect example from the cartoon and how badly this commercial it was, like you brought up with Cyborg. I didn't think you were real. Batman talks back. In the cartoon, Batman would just look at him and go on to the conversation what was going on, because that was needlessly brought up in his mind, because he's Batman and he's to the point. He answers up and like, oh, that's what I want, or it was just like every character they've shown so far is totally out of character.
I agree 100%. I'm well versed in all the comic book companies, but you're the one that really loves DC. This doesn't feel like DC at all. DC used to be a little more, I don't know, grandiose.
I don't know,
DC
and
was
going
always-
back to what you're saying, Jeff, it's not that it doesn't feel like that, but they're purposefully trying to make it where it doesn't feel like that. And that's the problem with Zack Snyder, is that he's not, that's why he almost lost his job after Batman vs. Superman. It's not just that it doesn't feel like Justice League. It feels like they're trying to make something different. That's what the whole problem with Star Wars was. You have this established universe that everyone loves. Go with that. That's why Marvel did so well. That's why the MCU, they follow the established universe. This Justice League promo, and Jeff, you got to help me out with this one, especially when they show the name of it at the very end of the trailer. Mm-hmm. Where it's like they have like the rock music, and then he's like, I hear you talk to fish. And then it shows Justice League. I can't place what movie they're trying to emulate, but that's so not a comic book movie.
It's trying to be every other movie like in existence. It's trying to like be like, hey, we're different in the subject matter. We're comic books, but we're like everything you've seen before. I don't know how anyone can fucking criticize Marvel for being too samey when DC can't even make something good once and copy that formula. They just can't do anything.
Now you're gonna probably cringe when I bring this up. I would have said, Snyder, you are fired. Fuck you. All right, and then I would go and say, hey, Josh, we know we have a pile of shit here. What can you do to make it better? Because he would.
Joss Whedon would make it worse.
Whedon because he made the Avengers. Did you not love the Avengers?
The difference is even Joss Whedon himself admitted the studio involved a lot. And usually studio involvement's really bad, but it's Marvel Studios. So, watch Buffy, watch Angel, watch what's that fucking show? Yeah, Dollhouse. Joss Whedon.
And Firefly.
Joss Whedon. And Firefly. That's a perfect example. Joss Whedon will change things in the middle of what's going on. So, and I kind of felt for him after Avengers 2. He's like, it's a hard process. But Marvel Studios, which, they did what 20th Century Fox tried to do with Fantastic Four. This is our vision. Follow it without deviating too far from it. So you have DC. This thing is, again, and tell me if I'm wrong, fellas, it's a clusterfuck. So you have a clusterfuck, and then Joss Whedon comes in. What is he going to do to try to fix it? He's going to kill one of the main characters right off the bat. And even if he doesn't, he's going to make it to where Wonder Woman's truly the most powerful, or he'll do something really weird. And he does that all the fucking time. He'll try to do something he thinks is unexpected, but the audience is like, where is this coming from? So I feel like if you're going to bring someone in, you need to bring in, whether it be Christopher Nolan or he would be way better because whatever you say about The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan at least brought it to where there was a realm of realism to the story a little bit more. Joss Whedon would do some crazy shit, and we would all be sitting there like, what?
Okay, I got a question for you guys. Okay, go ahead, Nick.
Well, I was gonna say is Christopher Nolan stuff is very intense and very dark at times, grounded. But the thing is that I'm with Joel that DC needs something crazy, and Joss Whedon would probably be the crazy thing they need.
It's because
honestly,
he knows how to throw in the humor where it's appropriate, where it doesn't feel forced.
Yeah, because I mean,
what else besides Avengers? What else besides Avengers would you say proves that he can do that?
Well, despite what you just said, I enjoyed Firefly. I enjoyed
I
the movie
fucking love Firefly so much.
So my only thing with Firefly is the story was this little girl and her brother are running away. Halfway through Firefly, was that feeling still there, where it was a little girl running away from the government, or was it more about this crazy Han Solo character doing crazy shit episode to episode?
I think it coincided.
Well, here's the thing I want to ask you guys. So, Dion, if you could have anyone be on the creative team for this, you would pick Christopher Nolan of anyone in the world?
No, that's off the top of my head. I think.
Take a minute to think. I'll ask Joel.
Okay,
Joel,
give me a minute, for sure.
Joel, would you pick Joss Whedon as your dream pick to fix the Justice League film?
That's kind of hard because I was also sadly thinking about James Cameron because he gave me one of my favorite movies of all time, and that's Aliens.
That wouldn't be a bad choice. I would like to see I would like to see the George Miller Justice League movie that was almost made.
Oh shit! I was kind of thinking George Miller, but I think that'd be a little bit too gruesome.
But here's the thing:
we already killed the main hero.
Yeah, you killed Superman. You either need to go back and get a time machine.
He's not dead. He's not dead.
He's not dead at the end of the movie.
The rocks float off the coffin at the end of Batman vs Superman.
No, but you either need to go back in time in Doc Brown's DeLorean and unmake Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and then get something like that, or you need to just keep with the tone of Justice League, and you need to increase the fucking scale. Because I know I said this a moment ago, but it feels so small and grounded. This is the fucking Justice League. They live in outer space. Okay? They have that fucking tower that floats around the Earth's orbit. They travel to different dimensions. They are not the fucking West Coast Avengers. They're not the Great Lakes Avengers. They don't just chill in Gotham. They're
basically the gods of Olympus.
Yeah, and all I'm saying is
even down on mortals because that's what they're there to protect.
Yes, but when your movie is like Ocean's 11 superheroes, what the fuck?
I would even give them that credit.
I don't really like Ocean's 11 that much. Then again, I watched it on an airplane when I was going to Spain.
Yes, you do.
That's a good movie. Ocean's 11 is really good.
You and I watched it. Again, we were drunk. But
yeah, I don't remember.
It's shut up. You remember it, motherfucker. No, it's what was it? We watched Ocean's 11 and 12. And I think it was 12. You were like, what the
12
fuck?
12 is shit.
And 11, I want to say 11 you like, Jeff. I'm almost positive. But you
is...
know what? I feel like maybe that's what, going off of that, maybe that's what DC needs to change. Like, don't be a strict comic book movie. Maybe change it to where it's kind of more of a thriller than you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to beat Marvel at their game. You're just not going to do it.
No, you're not.
And I'm still trying to figure out a director that I would want to see, but maybe you need just change it up. Don't just be an action movie. Maybe be a bit of a thriller, be a little bit more of a mystery than an action, because you're so far behind you have fucked up. And again, I know a lot of the listeners, they're probably not Noah R because he's a smart motherfucker, but half of them are going to be for Batman vs Superman, half of them aren't. And for those of you who aren't, there's so much of that movie that doesn't fit together. And no matter what they do, they're going to be, no matter whatever movie that they come out with from this point, even if it's Justice League, so much of it is going to be out of place that you know what I mean? You're not going to have a complete movie. You've proven you're not going to have a complete movie, and it's going to detract from the overall story. And that's what I'm worried about with Justice League. So much shit's going to be out of place. You're going to watch it, but you're going to have so many questions like, why is Superman doing this? Why is Batman doing this? It's going to be so weird, and not just bad, but weird, which is way worse.
My problem is, why isn't Superman, we know he's coming back. Why not be like, hey, Superman's in this movie. This is going to be fucking fighting gods and crazy shit.
Because
they fucked up the whole Doomsday thing. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, he should be fighting Doomsday in this movie. Doomsday should have been introduced at the end of the film, Batman v Superman. Or if not at all, you could have had Lex Luthor's creation escape.
Go ahead. Sorry. I'm just saying they're gonna bring in the main villain's supposed to be one of Doomsday's lieutenant, not Doomsday, but Darkseid's lieutenants.
Yeah, but that's
And
not
I
that
think-
exciting yet because look it. The average comic book reader doesn't even know Steppenwolf. Your average comic book reader today, new fans, excuse me, the new fans are worried about dumb shit like, oh, what Harley Quinn's wearing, or the fact that Batgirl has been kidnapped by the Joker. They're worried about the dumbest shit. So they're not going to know any of the classic Jack Kirby New Gods characters. Why not just take Doomsday, have him, like, break out? Okay, Batman and Superman fight, they come to an agreement, Lex Luthor's captured. Then the city accepts Superman, Batman, whatever happens. But then, as the credits are about to roll, you see, like, Doomsday escape from his little hive or whatever egg thing that he broke out of. And then the movie ends. And then you're like, oh my god, what next? Then the Justice League come together to fight a real threat. It looks like they come together to just, like, I don't know, go on a fucking scavenger hunt.
Do some camping. I kind of wish instead of, because I know they're going to fucking do it in this movie, they're going to have each hero gets their fucking origin story. And that's just going to make the movie.
God.
The best thing they could do is do the origin story in short films and release it on YouTube. No one has to pay it, and it builds up excitement, at least some excitement. And then you go into the movie, you know the characters, and you can have a feel for them one way or another. And then you just go into the movie with them meeting for the first time or whatnot, and skip the fucking origins.
Yeah, we don't need.
It's already been done.
We don't need origins.
God, I hope they don't do origin stories because it's gonna take up so much fucking time, and I doubt they do a YouTube version because there's no money in that at all.
If you saw in the trailer, you saw Cyborg as a human being.
Yeah, and
then you see him in the full armor, and in Batman, you saw him from the chest up, and that was all that existed. So the accidents already happened. If they're going to show him as a normal human being, that's part of the origin.
Oh, God.
It looks retarded. I don't know why he's in the movie. I mean, there's a guy in the comment section of my little rant about the trailer going, you singled out the only black guy. As a black guy, I find that offensive. Well, I said, you know what, motherfucker? I ain't white. So before you use that bullshit argument on me, if you got to have a black guy on the team, why not have it be John Stewart Green Lantern? People know him, and you know what? You want the Green Lantern on the team because that adds another level of mysticism and outer space magic and all kinds of fun.
That's another part of that, Jeff. You know what I mean? So DC made a Green Lantern movie. It didn't work. And you had the Justice League where Green Lantern is a huge part of and we can all admit, whatever the end game is, it's fucking Darkseid. So a huge part of that is the fucking Green Lantern. But DC is so obsessed with beating Marvel, instead of going back and fixing things that they fucked up, they're like, okay, we're gonna push forward, ignore a bunch of stuff about the story, and try to hopefully we poop out this great movie that's gonna make us a bunch of money and rival the Avengers. And it's like, you guys don't know what you have. You don't fucking get it. You still don't get it. And it's so, like, the Green Lantern is a small part, but it's such an important part, and it's so frustrating watching them shit the bed over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I don't think my anger towards DC stems from a bias towards Marvel. It stems from depression that DC, who realistically has just as good a catalog as characters, can't pull their shit together. You have Batman and Superman, two of the characters with the richest history in the world of any fictional character. I mean, Joel, how many other fictional characters have a publication history from 1938 to 2016? Not a lot. Those pulp characters
you probably get 5 that still exist in comics,
and they're all DC characters.
Yeah,
because if you say like,
outside of that, what other character can you pull off the top of your head? Maybe Sherlock Holmes, and even then, you have those awesome Guy Ritchie movies. They understood and that's a great example, Jeff, because it's like you have Sherlock Holmes, who's fucking maybe the only character outside of comic book fiction that stands the test of time. And those movies, at least, they blended that mythology, they blended the action thing perfectly. And that's another movie where DC should look at and say, here's an old character, let's do something like that. And they're like, no, we're not going to do that. We're gonna fuck up our own process.
That's
Like,
that's who DC needs. Guy Ritchie. It's exactly who they need.
That'd be interesting. It'd be, you know what? He's already employed by Warner Brothers. That's where the Sherlock Holmes movies go or come from. So, you know, it's all synergy.
Yeah.
I was gonna personally suggest Paul Feig because, you know, somebody can make it so bad it's funny.
Get out of here. Get out of here with that bullshit.
You know, if I leave, this episode stops recording. So,
You know what? I would risk it because just you saying that name makes me so angry right now. I'm just like,
look, I can't even.
I think Dion has a rage boner. It's
I
weird.
can't even bullshit my way out of this one. Fucking Paul Feig is a garbage.
I honestly could rub my angry boner on my shit right now, and you would hear. That's how angry his name makes me.
Do you mean like your actual feces?
Either or, choose your destiny, man. Choose your destiny.
All right. Well, if you want to go for a pounding on your own brown town, you take care of that. I choose to sit and lament the fact that Justice League looks like the Kmart Avengers.
Oh damn!
Seriously,
Not even Walmart.
Damn,
Kmart.
that's
when I
yeah.
because when I saw the original Avengers trailer, I was like, "Holy shit, this looks amazing." Then
Even Avengers 2 was way better. Like when the trailer for Age of Ultron came out, how good was it? It wasn't better than the first one, but it was like you and I, we were talking about it. And we were just like, you know, is that fucking Black Panther that jumps over the car? Like it was still a very good fucking. Even the music for Age of Ultron was better. Like you have this fucking little guitar riff for Justice League. Every Marvel movies trailer was better.
yeah, and look at fucking Civil War. They had the best trailer.
Yeah, see, that's what DC really needs to do. They need to really copy Marvel's trailers more than anything. Get people excited for their movies, and then they're gonna fuck them anyways when they come out, so it doesn't matter. But that's what they need to do. They need to copy the format for Marvel's trailers, and I think that will really get them where they need to be.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I'm just trying to think what that's going to do, though, in the long run, because you're going to have these really cool trailers and these really shitty movies, and Warner Brothers has tons of money, almost an unlimited amount of resources. What is holding them back? What does Zack Snyder have over the execs at Warner Brothers? Like, who is he fucking, or who does he have nude photos of? What is he holding over these people? He is absolutely the worst choice for a fucking superhero franchise.
Maybe behind the scenes he's getting money from Marvel to make trash.
That would be the ultimate twist.
God, I'd love that. I'd love that if that came out one day. It's like, oh yeah, the reason the DC movie sucks is because Marvel paid off Zack Snyder. That'd be amazing. Oh my god.
Now this
Thanks
is
a lot, M. Night Shyamalan.
Well, he is Samoan too. I know this is a really odd suggestion, and this isn't even a suggestion. This is just a hypothetical. Could Michael Bay make a better Justice League film than?
No, don't even finish it. No, he couldn't. He couldn't. I'm not even going
There's
to
the
entertain the thought.
explosions galore.
But I
You
think
know
we
what?
need
You probably have fucking Mark Wahlberg and Megan Fox, respectively, being Hal Jordan and Lois Lane. And you know what you would say, Joel? You would look me in my face when we go to WrestleMania, and you would say, Dion, I want to kill myself. And I would say, Joel, please don't. I love you, dude.
Yeah. I'd be like, I love you, Dion.
I'm telling you right now, and I know that we haven't truly known each other for very long, but I would, as much as I give you shit, I would never in a million years wish that Michael Bay do a DC movie because I love you so much. I would never do that to you.
I will
ever.
say this, and Jeff can confirm it. I actually enjoyed Battleship.
Yeah, you did.
Shut up. Get out of here. You're dumb. You're not a bullshit.
Everything Dion just said, he just took
It's
back.
out the door.
Well, I won't stop him from.
I mean, like honestly, what do they have to lose? What do they have to lose?
Everything, dude. This is huge. This is.
Give him one chance. Give him one movie, one chance, and see what happens.
I will never. No, I refuse. Listen, America, I don't give a shit if you have a gun to the back of my head and you're saying, let Michael Bay do a Justice League movie. I will say, go fuck yourself. And you can blow my brains out. I will die before I let Michael Bay take the reins of a comic book movie. Why? Because one, as much as I love Marvel, I don't want them to become the WWE. Number two, Michael Bay would look us in our face. And you remember when fucking what's the director's name? Joel Schumacher did Batman and Robin. He said it's just a comic book movie. Michael Bay would say the exact same shit, and I promise you, not only would I shit my pants, but I would just go. I would be the dude that killed John Lennon. I would murder Michael Bay.
Oh my
when he does.
God.
All right.
Never. I will never.
Can
do that
we
shit.
can we get Michael Bay to direct and Dion's killing everybody if Michael Bay directs a DC movie?
Michael Bay is coming to you live with a new movie called Dion Hunts and Kills Michael Bay.
I guess I'll just apologize for my suggestion, even though I'm not that sorry.
I mean,
Because
like,
controversy-
I mean, to be honest, DC needs. I think they need a crazy move. They need a crazy move to get them, to get them going, or at least to get them some success and some recognition.
You know my suggestion,
All right.
Jeff? You asked me earlier.
Yeah,
You asked me earlier who I would have do the Justice League movie.
yeah.
I would have Anton Fuqua do it. The dude that did Training Day and I think the King Arthur movie. That's who I'd have do it.
All of a sudden, Michael Bay doesn't sound so bad, in my opinion.
Well, the guy that did John Wick.
But you guys got to take into account, Justice League isn't meant to be a small, character-driven little narrative. It's supposed to be the most grandiose thing that's ever.
And that's why you need
Yeah.
Michael Bay. That's why you need Michael Bay. He's good at that
But
grandiose.
no, but even
Nicolas
even then,
Cage.
you have Iron Man, which again is fucking John. Can you tell me? Would you ever have said John Favreau would be the dude to direct that movie from the
Dion,
jump?
if you
Would
said
ever have said
if you said Antoine Fuqua should direct the Green Lantern movie, that's different. This is the Justice League. That'd be like having Gus Van Sant direct Avengers.
Joss
Age of
Whedon,
Ultron.
Jeff? Joss Whedon. That's who you thought should have done Avengers.
I didn't know much about Joss Whedon. All I knew is he was a fucking.
Even if you didn't, you would have did what? You would have went to IMDb, and it's funny because I said it, and my sister goes, "Gross," but you would have saw Angel, Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Shit, I
and
hated.
Firefly, and stuff that you didn't like, and you would have been like, "Oh man, fuck that." But it turned out great because at least with a small guy, the Russo brothers. What did they do before the Winter Soldier? Like, I'm just saying, you have someone, at least with Anton Fuqua, you have Training Day. King Arthur wasn't widely, receptive really well because my opinion is because of the character. But that was a good movie. You had it was the team of guys that have to go out and kill a bunch of guys, and it was a fucking good movie. I mean, you need to have someone that knows how to make a character-driven movie. And yeah, it's supposed to be a huge blockbuster, but we had Zack Snyder. He can't get the job done, and he did 300. He did Watchmen. He did the first Superman movie. He failed up into that point.
I don't like any of his movies except Dawn of the Dead. I don't even like Watchmen that much. I don't want to hurt Dustin's feelings, but I think Watchmen's a very bloated movie that anyone could have made because all it is a direct adaptation of a comic book, like literally line for line.
Right now.
Dustin's
Dustin's at home right now, feeling that ghost phantom knife against his throat right now for that. He's like, huh? What?
Well, no, I mean 300 is the exact same way as well. I mean, like page for page, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, you know what? I don't like 300 either. I saw that in
That's my
fucking
whole
high school.
point, man. That's my whole point, man. You had someone who did blockbusters and Watchmen. I
So
think
maybe this is his problem. He didn't have anything to follow for Superman or Batman vs Superman.
But Dion,
That's why he fucked up.
Is it really though? Is his problem he didn't have anything to follow, or was it that Zack Snyder is a dick and he's so convinced that every superhero needs to be gritty? Like is that the problem? That's what I'm thinking it is.
No. Well, what I'm saying is he had no actual he didn't have a whole graphic novel or a whole comic book series to just pull from. I think is what he didn't find or he didn't like. Maybe he didn't like what he was seeing, and he's just like, all right, I'm gonna make it myself. I know what I'm doing. I'm good. I got it.
Still, but Watchmen wasn't a series, but it was one of the greatest novels of all time. Even though it wasn't a series, but you have a pre-existing.
Wait, hold on. Was 300 a graphic novel as well?
Yeah. Frank Miller.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Frank Miller.
that might be the problem. Then he does go to the graphic novels and shit with actual comic books.
But Watchmen in 300, he went to the source material. He followed the source material. Superman, he does this off the wall bullshit where Superman kills a guy. You know what I mean? That could be him or the studio saying, we don't want to see the same Superman. We want something fresh, something new. I seriously doubt it was WB. In DC. I think that they put all their eggs in a basket with Zack Snyder. and they said, okay, he can do it, and then he didn't. I don't think that it was the studio. I think that this was one of the rare instances where it was the guy who made the movie. I honestly think so. It wasn't 20th Century Fox with Fantastic Four. It wasn't 20th Century Fox with Daredevil. It was, they said, okay, we're going to let this guy do his thing. And they gave the reins to Zach. And I'm going to call you Zach because I fucking hate everything that you ever done. And I want to punch you in the nuts. You failed. You failed. He failed.
Look, Zack Snyder is all of us at 13 years old, except he's 45 years old, okay? When we were 13 years...
I'd say he's 7. He's a kid with the key to the kingdom.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he's given carte blanche. I don't know what asshole at Warner Brothers didn't... Okay, Warner Brothers has a history of getting a director in there who can make them one good or decent film. We'll use Tim Burton, for example. Batman 89, great movie. But Tim Burton had to follow a script. He had to do certain things. A lot of it was under the whim of producers like Michael Uslan, and then you had Jack Nicholson who was doing his own thing. So Tim Burton was kind of there just to hold it together. He was director almost in name only to a point. Then you get Batman Returns, where Tim Burton has full free range, and that movie's fucking garbage. Okay?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can see that pretty much Tim Burton wiped his dick on that movie really hardcore. I mean, look at what is it? Christopher Walken. He's basically wearing Jack Skellington's suit the first time you see him.
It's a fucking Hot Topic wet dream, and I don't like that movie. It doesn't feel like Batman. It feels so removed tonally from Batman 89. Look, Batman 89 clearly took place in the year 1989, and it felt like Gotham was just a city somewhere else, but in the real world. Batman Returns is a fucking fantasy film, a weird, twisted, bizarre, dark fantasy film. And for a movie called Batman Returns, Batman is barely in the film. It's really Catwoman, Penguin, and Max Schreck, and Batman's in the background. That's the problem you had with the movie. Then you get Nolan, who brings his style to Batman Begins, and it fucking works. That's a true Batman movie. Then you got Zack Snyder's butt stink all over these last 2 movies, and it doesn't work. He doesn't have the mental faculties to produce a quality movie featuring these characters. He just sees explosions, slow-mo, tits, blood, gore. It's just Michael Bay, but retarded.
There is one thing with his Batman that I did enjoy.
What's that?
The fucking fight scene with those terrorists.
So you like Arkham Knight, then?
Yes. That was basically an Arkham Knight fight.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. That was fine. I don't think that's the highlight of the film, personally, but that's a good part.
You know what's funny is that, except for Arkham Origins, you could just say that any of the Arkham series without Origin, would be a great way to do the Batman, but they just don't go with the good writing. For that movie all around, and in this movie too, for the most part, horrible casting.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with that guy playing the Flash? I don't like him.
I can deal with Jason Momoa. I actually like the actor. Momoa,
you weird old man.
It's mimosa. I don't care.
I'd rather have a mimosa than watch this movie, but hey, I'll take anything.
Or maybe have a few before you watch the movie.
Because you like alcohol, smartass.
I know. I really wish I had beer right now, but I don't.
You just have a house that has no air conditioning.
I like Lawrence Fishburne, but I cannot stand him as Perry White.
Yeah, I don't like him either. I thought he was
he is the only good part of Superman. Him as Perry White, I like him as Perry White. Who I can't stand is what's her nuts is Lois Lane. She's horrible.
Amy Adams.
Yeah, I don't think anyone does a great job in that franchise, the Man of Steel universe. Superman's just okay, but he's kind of like a robot. Jimmy Olsen's dead. Lois Lane isn't Lois Lane, man. Like, Margot Kidder may not have been the world's greatest actress, but man, she was Lois Lane. Terry Hatcher did a good job. Lois Lane's supposed to be plucky and, all about the story. In this movie, those 2 movies, she's just kind of a straight up idiot.
Alfred was good.
She's only, you brought up a good point, all about the story. She's only all about the story for 20 minutes of Batman vs. Superman. Literally everything that her character is, driven to the end goal. She's really probably one of the only humans outside of Batman that stands up to Superman. And then Batman vs. Superman, she's forgettable as fuck outside of 20 minutes of the movie. And it's
it's a bad 20 minutes.
She is the definition of damsel in distress. That's what she is.
But she put herself in fucking distress Why, first I'm going to throw the spear into the water, and then go get the spear.
My God.
Yeah, yeah, because she wasn't getting attention from Superman. She's like, he's ignoring me. I'm gonna make him come talk to me for a second.
What is she, Kyle's girlfriend now? What the fuck is that about, dude? Sorry, that was a joke for an audience of one.
Oh God! If only they knew. If only they knew.
Yeah, dude, look, she doesn't, like you said, she's only about the story for 20 minutes of the movie. To me, she's less effective than Pepper Potts in the first Avengers movie. That's saying something, dude. Because Pepper Potts is literally in 3 scenes. Amy Adams.
Well, only that, but Pepper Potts is like, hey, go do this. There's nothing to that level where Lois is like, hey, go do this. You're just like,
she should not hold dominion over Superman because Superman is the strongest being in the galaxy, and I don't care. He's an alien. He shouldn't be thinking with his dick.
Well, I mean, that's what he's thinking with.
But Lois Lane, it's not that. Lois Lane, and this is, again, we're getting into the weeds, America. You're fucking welcome. Lois Lane and Clark's parents are his grounding route to humanity, right? So his parents show him what it's like to be a good person. That's why he's a good person, not a crazy person. Lois Lane is what it's like to be essentially an adult. You're in love. You want the person you're in love with to look up to you and respect you and be proud of you. But in Batman vs Superman, and even in what was the fucking first one called?
Steel.
Thank you. Yeah, Man of Steel. She is this annoying contrarian the entire fucking time. And even in Batman vs Superman, like Joel said, she just randomly jumps in the pool and he's fighting Doomsday, who, again, America, is supposed to be the one thing he's afraid of, and he hears thumping and he's just like, what is that? What is that? Oh fuck, my kind of attractive redheaded girlfriend is in trouble. Like, no, motherfucker, you're fighting Doomsday. Why this dumb bitch jumped in the pool? That's her fucking problem. There's nothing about her that makes you say, yup, she's his link to humanity, America. That's his link. Not a goddamn thing.
Hey, can we pause the DC talk for just a quick moment?
Why, of course, young sir.
Marvel just dropped another Doctor Strange trailer in response to the Wonder Woman and Justice League trailer, and Captain Marvel has officially been cast.
Oh shit! Fuck you, DC. You just
Brie Larson, who is the girl from 21 Jump Street, the blonde that Jonah Hill falls in love with. She's been cast. Yeah. She's been cast as Captain Marvel.
Wait, I think
she's all right. I mean, I think.
Wait, hold on. Is she? Hold on. Is she from Community?
No. She's in 21 Jump Street, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Trainwreck Room. She just won an Oscar this year.
Looks a little small.
Well,
Captain Marvel isn't like 6'2" or something. She's
but it's the
standard white woman.
Are you talking tits?
No, I'm talking like body size to be able to come across as someone as an imposing female character like Captain Marvel is.
Well,
she looks a little diminutive.
She's going to be playing the lesbian Captain Marvel. The one that wears the leather costume up to her neck because if you show...
Oh, Captain Dyke?
God fucking damn it.
They're not going to be the cool Carol Danvers one that wore, like, the fucking thigh-high boots and the giant gloves with the sash.
Oh, you mean Miss Marvel or Warbird?
Yeah, it's not... Look, they're so worried about offending the vocal minority that doesn't even watch or support their movies. Like, at least with the Black Widow, there's a little TNA in there. Hell, even in What's-Her-Face, Scarlet Witch, her tits are hanging out. That's cool. I mean, throw a little bit in there. We got to watch Thor walk around with his shirt off.
Because we sure in hell know that Wonder Woman doesn't have any TRA.
Yeah, that is a flat woman. It's a wonder they cast her. Sorry, that was.
And speaking of Wonder Woman,
yeah, that's a good transition. Let's talk about that for a minute. The Wonder Woman trailer dropped. When you critique someone with a female or something with a female lead, you have to be overly cautious because if you have any critiques that aren't, glowingly positive, you're a sexist. So call me a sexist because I'm going to be honest. I thought this trailer was just okay.
I'd agree with that.
Like a female Captain America.
No, she didn't even look like that. She looked like the lesser version of Black Widow. Like when she saves Chris Pine or whatever, and he's like, "Oh," she's like, "You're a dude." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm a dude." You're just like, okay.
What do I look
Did
like?
a nurse just find him? Did a nurse save him? Like, what the fuck?
Let me just get this out of the way before we go too in depth on Wonder Woman. That fucking last scene in the trailer when she's like, "What you are, where I come from as a slave," that was some bullshit. Keep your politics out of this fucking movie.
Well, the same thing. He says, "I can't let you do this.
Yeah, that was retarded too.
You don't control me." Almost, basically, is what she said. Like,
You know-
I'm a woman. I'm strong.
Hey, you know
Here's
what?
my fem card.
Let's let every one of these self-righteous feminists go fight in the war. Let's see how many come back.
A lot less than the
Well,
men.
and my only thing about that part, that didn't bother me because Wonder Woman was very confrontational for dudes. But the thing is, it wasn't because she was a woman, just because it came off like, okay, I don't know this. But in the trailer, it's like specifically because I'm Wonder Woman. You know what I mean? It's a difference between this is my character, I don't know what you're doing, as opposed to I'm a woman, you're a dude, go fuck yourself. It comes off way fucking different.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't like it, because I'm not saying... Okay, I always use this analogy, Princess Leia. To me, if for an action movie character, Princess Leia is like the epitome of, she's equal to all the dudes, but they don't ever make a point to say it because she's this strong, powerful woman. They just show that she can do shit, but they also show that she can't do certain things. Like in the first Star Wars. The first thing you see her do is shoot a stormtrooper. Those dudes are like set for stun. She shoots that dude in the fucking chest and kills him. Then when she gets captured, she's talking shit to Darth Vader. She's not like, "Oh, I'm so afraid of you, evil dark robot man." No, she's like, "Oh, only you can be so bold." Okay, so that's cool. Then when she gets rescued by Han and Luke, first thing she says,
"I want to be a stormtrooper."
Yeah, she talks shit, and then she's like, "It's a wonder we're all still alive and shit." You know what? She's the perfect example of it, because she is tough in certain scenarios, but her ass can't fly a fucking starship. She can't use the lightsabers. She doesn't know the Force in those old movies. I don't care what they try to change. She's Force sensitive and whatever. Like, yeah, maybe Luke talked to her on Bespin, but in Return of the Jedi, she wasn't a Jedi. So she was cool because
It was this, Jeff. She comes in and she proves herself to be equal without always having to show it or shove it in their face. Where Rey was shoved in your face. Like, hey, I'm Rey. I'm Force sensitive. I can fly the fucking Falcon. I can do anything that's required of me because I'm fucking uber stupid.
Don't hold my hand. I know how to run. That line right there pissed me.
I'm trying to save your ass, bitch. You were on the ground.
If I would, I would honestly in real life, if I was trying to like help someone and I'm holding them to try to keep up pace, if I'm actually faster than them, if they're holding on to me and they say, "Don't hold me, I can run myself," I'm gonna push you down and run away. I'm gonna say, "Fuck you." Our relationship is severed. You want to be a fucking asshole and be all self-righteous when your life's on the line? Fuck you. If I'm in danger and some woman or dude or whoever is going to help me, I'm just going to say, "Thanks, I'd like to survive." And I'm going to go with whatever they say until, danger's resolved and I can go on my own merry way. That's the kind of shit that screamed out at me at Wonder Woman. And it was so blatant that it took me out of the trailer, because I don't have any trouble with Wonder Woman as a character. The Justice League cartoon, she's fine. I don't mind the Wonder Woman-centric episodes. I've never minded the Linda Carter TV show. It's a little hokey because it's, 40 years old, but she's hot and it's fun to watch. My biggest problem with Wonder Woman in this movie is they're like 20 years too late. If they really wanted to make a good Wonder Woman movie, they should have made it in the 90s with Lucy Lawless, and they should have had Lucy Lawless team up with Michael Keaton Batman, and they should have dusted off Christopher Reeve pre-accident. And they could have. That would have been a much better Justice.
Fuck, you could have had Brandon Routh in the goddamn movie, and it'd be better. You know what I mean? Like, even you could have had Lucy Lawless fresh off of Charlie's Angels, and get Charlie's Angels. Yeah, Xena. Thank you, Lucy Liu, Long Lucy. But you could have had
Long Lucy.
Lucy. But yeah, you could have had Lucy Lawless wait a couple years and get Brandon Routh. Like, holy shit, man! Like, what? Why is this movie look like it's gonna be dog shit?
Well, I'm looking at the director, Patty Jenkins. She hasn't really done a lot. The only movie that she's done is Monster. That's the only movie she directed. Other than that, she's done TV and she's written some stuff, but nothing. She wrote 2 shorts. She wrote the movie Monster and directed it. But other than that, she really hasn't done a lot of actual movies.
And
But
they're jumping on her because it's a woman director, so they have to have
Yes.
a woman direct this. It's
Oh,
all
of course,
it's
of
all
course.
about
We're
the
gonna bring that
fucking
up.
it's all about the press narrative. It's not about
It's-
the best person.
It's all about
directing
vagina
this movie.
power.
It's not even that. It's all about it's a woman superhero movie directed by a woman. Blah blah blah. It's all about that fucking marketing that they're gonna be
Here's
able to
the thing.
pitch to people.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Like, one of my I'm a giant horror fan. One of my favorite horror movies ever is Slumber Party Massacre, which is directed and written by a woman, and she's a feminist. And I love that movie because it's crazy as shit, and it's got tits and ass in it, and it's a really good movie. Do I care that it's written by a feminist and has a bunch of women in it? No, I don't give two shits. It's a good movie.
Dude, Wayne's World's directed by Penelope Spheris. I love that fucking movie. One of my
Oh, yeah,
favorite
exactly.
movies. You know what though? There's not a single line in that movie that makes you think there's like a fucking hidden narrative. It's just a quality film. Man or woman, whoever makes it, no problem. Make a good movie. Don't imprint this fucking modern day rhetoric in a movie. One, it dates your movie, and two, it makes it unwatchable to a certain portion of the audience. I don't care what this vocal minority says. If your movie pisses off the silent majority, the movie's going to die. It's going to be forgotten through time. How many people really sit and talk about, I hate to say it, but Beverly Hills Cop? I hold a flame for the movie because I fucking love it. But that movie's been forgotten by time. Yeah, it made more money than Ghostbusters in theaters, but it's kind of like, oh, that's just that thing that was made in 1984. If they keep doing shit like this with these movies, superhero or non, they're going to be stuck in the the early 2000s where people go, this was a really weird time for politics and everything was so focused on whatever, and eventually people just got tired of it and they just don't watch these movies anymore.
The
But I
the
think
era of
that's not the
political
only problem.
independence.
That's not the only problem. The other issue is, even if it's not highly regarded, how does it stand as a film? Beverly Hills Cop, is it forgotten? I mean, you could say that, but again, it is good enough that they were going to make a fucking TV show out of it.
Oh, it's a
It was good
phenomenal
enough.
franchise.
No, and I'm not saying it to kind of like argue with you. I'm just saying, generally speaking, in terms of if we're talking to a layman, Beverly Hills Cop was good enough that when people talk about Eddie Murphy, that's one of the movies that they bring up. Is Beverly Hills Cop. Is it well known? No, but people who watch movies look back at it and say, yeah, that was a really good movie. If you make a movie that again is based in political bullshit, it's not going to hold, even if it's not a blockbuster. As a film, people will look back and say, yeah, fucking Daredevil's a great example of that. The movie, it didn't kill any records or anything, but as a film, people look back at it and say, damn, that was not a good movie. And you brought up, a horror film, even to be more recent, Mad Max, George Miller talked to his wife. He went and met with feminists. How do I make a main character that's a woman? And the movie was fucking awesome.
It was really good. I was so happy with it.
That's how you do it. If you're going to make a statement, you don't make it the focal point of your movie. You just do it, and that's it. You don't make it like, oh my God, she's a woman. No, it's just a woman, and these things happen around, and she happens to be a chick.
But that's
That's how you do it.
That's the difference between smart filmmaking and filmmaking by committee of stupid people
Right.
with a message.
Right.
Because Furiosa, here's the thing that I'm harping on. Furiosa, Princess Leia, Ripley from Aliens, they all had weaknesses. Rey from The Force Awakens, not a fucking weakness.
That's
that
very
bitch
true.
was fucking perfect. She was just...
It's a perfect example.
She's
man.
a fucking robot. She didn't even have real emotions. She's just a fucking... She's a message. She's not even a character. She's a fucking ideal on film. And it's because that ideal is not 100%, or because they make her that ideal, she's not a real character. Let's see. Princess Leia got captured, beaten up, whatever. She couldn't do certain things.
Tortured.
Yeah, tortured. Ripley. Ripley had a weakness for fucking, Newt, and had that maternal thing. If that kind of movie was made today, Ripley would look into the camera and say, I don't need to have children. I'm in control of my life, whatever.
And also remember, she was suffering from nightmares and fear of actually even the thought of them.
Yeah, and her own kid died, and she found out her daughter was dead in the beginning of Aliens, right, Joel?
Yeah, she found that her daughter had died of old age.
She was alive. She wasn't dead. She was alive, but she didn't want to go talk
No,
to
I
her.
thought she had died of old age.
I'm going to go with, look at Dion, I'm not
No,
trying to be contrarian, but I'm going to go with Joel. Joel's seen that movie about 1,000 times.
That
equally
was
have.
at least
She wasn't dead.
a lot
She was
longer. after when they finally released it on like DVD and Blu-ray, they gave you that extended cut because you never knew what actually happened in some instances from the original release.
Well, all I'm
Right.
saying is
Right.
all three of those
Right,
female
right.
characters had weaknesses. Furiosa got defeated when she went to look for the green place and it wasn't there and she wanted to give up or whatever. Like, I'm just saying, these characters all had flaws. Wonder Woman is a fucking, not a character, she's a fucking ideal. And it's going to come off like that in this movie. It's not, people are like, well, you haven't seen the movie, how do you know? I just know how stupid Hollywood is, okay? This is going to be a slightly better version of Ghostbusters. Those characters aren't meant to be believable or relatable. They're an ideal that you're supposed to aspire to, and you're not supposed to have any flaws because you're a woman.
Well, no, even then, I hate when people make that argument. It's like, oh, you don't know the movie's going to be like, you can't judge. It's like, listen, we've watched enough movies, we've seen enough shitty trailers and shitty movies to pretty much figure out how the fuck it's going to be. Like, it's really easy. It's real fucking easy.
I agree 100%, man. I'm down on this trailer. Less so. I don't know if I'm less so down on this trailer than Justice League. I'm gonna say yeah. I like Justice League less than the Wonder Woman trailer, but that's because the Wonder Woman trailer is going to be a little different. We've never seen a World War I superhero movie ever.
No, we have not.
We've had Captain America, the definitive World War II superhero film. We could have a fucking You know what we should do is go back and make a Punisher movie. Not a movie, but have like a flashback of him in like Iraq or something. That'd be cool. You know, you could set these characters in certain time periods and kind of like establish the war. But that's the only thing that's keeping me somewhat interested is like, hey, World War I, it's going to be a little different. We're going to see how she interacts in a society with low technology. And then hopefully it ties into her.
She rides a fucking horse.
Yeah. That was okay.
I'm like, why did they take away her flight? Ugh.
Oh, well,
I just hate that.
There's
Because right now, all we have is Superman that can fly. Leaving the rest of the fucking Justice League either huff it on foot, get a moped, or ride a horse.
Dude, Invisible Jet. The Invisible Jet, man.
Oh, also, the things. This is going back to Eddie Murphy. The things he's known for, according to IMDb, are Beverly Hills Cop, Trading Places, Coming to America, and Norbit.
Oh, Norbit, you had me at.
This is IMDb. This is IMDb. All right, You blame them. You blame them.
Oh, I blame
Yeah,
IMDb.
they should have gone with like Delirious or Raw.
Both.
I completely agree with that. But once again, it's IMDb and people are idiots. So.
Dan, you've been really quiet. What did you think of the Wonder Woman trailer?
I didn't hate it as much as Justice League.
Now, you're a guy that's probably never read a Wonder Woman comic, never will. Do you care about Wonder Woman as a character?
No.
Didn't think so. But as a film goer, are you going to see this movie?
Probably.
For the show. More than likely.
Yeah. Exactly.
Same here. I'll see it for the show. That'll be about it.
Because we'll have to review it. That's why we'll see it.
Jeff, second breaking news: Guardian of the Galaxy. Kurt Russell will be playing Ego, the Living Planet.
What?
And also Star-Lord's dad.
That's weird.
Well,
isn't Ego the one that fucking Nick Fury ends up murdering?
Oh, are you talking about in Original Sin?
Yeah.
Talk about a comic book series that had potential to be amazing and wasn't.
It was very meh. Even so, it ended up. I liked it overall, but yeah, it was very like. Bleh.
What do you think about Thor Ragnarok, Hulk's Guardian armor or Gladiator armor?
Oh.
I actually kind of liked it. I kind of liked it, man. I actually kind of liked it.
There's just so much potential for the Hulk to have his own movie based off that, then to tie it into something that wasn't there.
I'm just
I mean, there was a storyline where they did it for that Hulk versus those two movies that they made, the animated ones.
Oh, those sucked.
Where, I mean, the Thor one wasn't bad. The Wolverine one was pretty shitty, but
yeah, with Deadpool.
Yeah. You know, I mean, and I think that they're trying to base it off of that, but it's that one. I have a lot more faith in that one than fucking Wonder Woman and Justice League. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I do too. I'm not really worried about anything from Marvel. I'm not trying to play fanboy, but there's nothing that's making me nervous.
But again, I think it's not that you're a fanboy. It's that there was an established rivalry in Avengers, Hulk and Thor. In the comic books, there's an established rivalry, Hulk and Thor. It's not foreign to us as moviegoers because subliminally they said, hey, there's this rivalry between these two characters. In the comic book, there was a real rivalry between these two characters. So for them to make a huge movie based on that, it makes sense. But you have fucking Justice League where it's Batman's recruiting everyone. That didn't happen until the very end of the movie. You have Batman being comical. That didn't happen until the end of the movie where he's talking to Superman and Wonder Woman shows up. It's outside of the character that they established. And that's what's another reason why it's not going to work. I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to work.
So is DC done?
You know what, to be honest, I think Suicide Squad's going to keep the boat afloat.
Yep.
I think that Justice League's going to do the same thing that Batman vs. It's going to make enough money where they're going to say, let's make a sequel.
But what do you mean by done? Like, will they be done making movies or will they be bankrupt?
No, not bankrupt ever, because it's Warner Brothers, dude. They have the Harry Potter franchise that they're bringing back. They got tons of money. They got all the Lethal Weapons. They had a great catalog of movies. They'll never be out of fucking money. My question is, do you think the DCEU, and I don't just mean like critical success, financial success, I'm talking about like brand faith. Do you think consumers are going to even care if they continue to release films of this caliber? You know that it's Batman v Superman is a divisive film. It's not even like a 50-50 thing. More people than not shit on it.
Well, I mean, honestly, look at the money. Look at the money. Look where people's money is going, and then you tell me that, because I mean that says it right there. What are they willing to spend their hard-earned money on?
Marvel,
and
dude,
then there you go.
Civil War outgrossed BVS in like 4 days.
Yeah, and I mean that's how you know, because people are willing to go to the theaters. They're willing to sit there. They're willing to watch the movies. They're willing to spend their hard-earned money on Marvel. They're not going to spend it on DC because they don't want to. They don't know what it's going to be. They don't care. They're invested in Marvel. They're going to stay with Marvel.
Because Marvel's done the right thing. They've built a strong foundation.
They have. They really have.
And now they're literally building Avengers Tower. But they started with the fucking foundation. Somebody dug a hole in the fucking ground, filled it with cement, rebar, and all the other shit. I'm not a fucking architect. And they have built on top of it. Some levels aren't as good or finished like Iron Man 2, but Iron Man 2 is still head and shoulders better than Batman v Superman or Man of Steel.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is with all Marvel stuff, it's all rewatchable. All of it, you can watch it over and over again and really not be bored with it, honestly. I mean, they did it right. They did it damn right, and DC's trying to catch up, and that's the fucking problem. They need to not try to catch up. They need to try to be their own thing. And that's where they need to, that's where they really need to do their own stuff.
And I think the way they're going about it's all wrong. It's like going from step A to step Z, and you forgot B through Y.
Yeah, and it's not going to work.
Hey, guys, I'm looking at a meme that shows from the trailer of Wonder Woman. It says, "You're a man," and it shows Chris Pine's character looking up saying, "Did you just assume my gender?"
Please post that somewhere. I need to like repost the shit out of that because that's hilarious.
Okay.
I swear to God, that's going to be the theme of this Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
God. Like tag me in it or something. I want that meme so bad.
So it's funny. DC really brings its A game. We all shit on it, but it's not out of spite. It's out of honest criticism.
It's out of an honest feel that they need to do better. They need to step up their game.
It hurts, though.
Actually, just stop and restart with a fresh perspective. Because honestly, the feel I actually feel like this is the feel of these movies would be better suited for the X-Men, for a reboot of the X-Men, and get rid of what's his face from the X-Men movies? Who was it?
Oh, Bryan Singer?
Yeah. And make them dark and just make the Justice League slightly comical, with jokes. But see, the problem is Marvel has always been in the comics the shades of gray. And DC was always the light and dark. That's good. That's evil. And I feel like right now they've gone to this totally dark tone for all the Justice League movies, which only works for like the Suicide Squad, honestly.
True.
I mean, I get more enjoyment from watching the Suicide Squad trailers than I get from Batman, Superman, Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, or the Justice League.
I disagree with you 100% because I think Suicide Squad is setting up to be a fantastic failure. I don't know who the fuck Jared Leto is playing, but it sure as shit ain't the Joker.
I actually think this. I think the original Joker is dead, and that this is like Tim Drake.
Okay, first off, why the fuck would you
That is the
start...
silliest shit ever.
Why would you start with that? Listen, people don't know who Tim Drake is. The general public, the people that listen to this show might, but if you say Batman and Robin, they think Robin is one person. If they know that it's Dick Grayson, great. If they see Little Kid Robin, they may assume it's the same Robin from when he's a kid. These people don't know that there's Jason Todd, Stephanie Brown.
And make it Dick Grayson. Because you saw what he wrote on the uniform.
Right,
Yes.
but again, even so, that was specifically for comic book fans. There's no getting around it. That was for us. That was DC saying, "Hey guys, we're listening, right? You're watching this movie." There's no way that DC is smart enough or ballsy enough to make the Joker Tim Drake. Even so, if that were what you were going for, that would be the focus of the movie. They've already said that Joker's in the first, 20 minutes or whatever, 20, 30 minutes of the movie. They've said that he's not...
That's not possible, though. I found out today that can't be possible.
That he's in the whole movie?
He has to be, because Dan and I went shopping at Barnes & Noble, plus all the shit that was released at ComiCon. Did you know that the Joker dresses up as Batman at one point in this movie?
What?
He has a
I did
purple.
not know that,
He has a purple and green Batman suit that he wears in this film. Did you also know he dresses up as a fucking boxer?
Yes, I did see
the
that.
fuck?
A screenshot of that.
I'm just saying, there's all this Joker merchandise, and the way merchandise is, it's scene specific, so they aren't making Joker and Friends super costumes like they do fucking, pharmacist Barbie and all this other dumb shit. This is a legitimate adaptation of
Barbie's not smart enough to be a pharmacist.
Fine. There's a McDonald's Barbie. I'll go to the lowest common. Fine. Veterinarian Barbie or marine biologist Barbie or whatever the Barbies they make. Volkswagen.
Cracko Barbie?
What'd you say?
Cracko Barbie?
Yes, because she's just so thin. No, the thing is though. God damn it, Joel! You made me lose my train of thought. The thing is, these things would not be announced or created unless they're specifically in the movie, and I think it's so dumb. Suicide Squad is going to be like the artsy, crazy, out there DC movie, but I don't know if it's going to have a good story underneath it all, because one, what is the fucking story, first off? We knew
that's better than seeing the trailer for Batman vs Superman where we knew the entire fucking story from the jump.
No, we knew the entire movie beat for beat in that trailer. When we saw the Avengers trailer, we knew that the Avengers came together and that there's a big evil that challenges the Earth. We knew the story, a general story, like a one-sentence description of a story. The description of Suicide Squad. Group of villains come together to do something. Harley Quinn is going to be exploited because it's her first time in a movie, and she's played by a sexy actress, and she probably won't fit into the movie that well. And then there's the Joker and Batman. So what I get from this is Batman 2.5.
Batman 2. I like that.
That's actually it's a very fair assessment of this movie. It's definitely the Batman 0.5 of this universe for sure.
And Dan just kindly went out and got the Hot Toys doll of the Joker dressed as Batman. So if you guys would like to see the costume, I'm not making it up.
Yeah, I see it there. What is he holding in his hand?
It's the grappling gun.
Okay.
I will say this though, for a guy that collects Hot Toys dolls, the Harley Quinn one looks creepily realistic. I'll find an image of it for you.
Is it? What is it? Like, I think I see it next to this.
Yeah, but you got to see the face, dude.
God.
It's so real. It's unsettling. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay. Like, is it just like a really small version of the actress?
Yeah, it is realistic as shit.
I'll call her Mini-Me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I just think this movie is Harley Quinn the movie, and they just couldn't come up with something else.
They're probably gonna actually. I mean, I think they wouldn't. I think they would do Harley Quinn the movie. Honestly.
I can see DC making it because it's DC.
And you know,
But
they're on that whole woman trip. I mean, they would probably do Harley Quinn the movie.
here's the thing about Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn's not the strong woman character that is a role model for women. No, she gets abused by her boyfriend, the Joker.
Thank
and
you.
the interesting
Thank
dynamic is how she's a fucking victim, but she's got like Stockholm syndrome. She always comes back to him, no matter how shitty he is. She's always there. That's the interesting dynamic. And it's sad that a fucking children's cartoon from the 90s, where political correctness was kind of running rampant on like children's television, but it said that show could get the message across clearly that they're in an abusive relationship. She's a victim, but she is so like mentally broken by him and so helplessly in love. A kid's cartoon can do that. A film for adults that's so dark and gritty and realistic can't. What the fuck?
Because, you know, adults are assholes and they can't take things like that, so,
Well, and again, I don't. You know, I think it's just
They're doing what's topical. That's the problem. You know, right now, you know, trying to be the progressive, you know, uninformed dickwad is what's topical. And I think that that's what's going to kill DC. Is it going to kill them enough to not make movies? No, they'll keep trying. But it's this fucking need to be better than Marvel, but we're going to be topical at the same time because we care, America.
Oh my god.
We care. It's like, fuck you. DC doesn't give a shit.
Nick, you see it now? Doesn't that look
Yeah.
eerie? That's the toy.
God.
Everybody go look at the image. Isn't that eerily
Holy
realistic?
Wow.
I've
I
never seen a
gotta
Hot
change
Toys.
my underwear.
Yeah, that's a little weird there, bruh.
I'm saying I've never seen a Hot Toys doll look so real.
Wow.
And I own the Michael Keaton Batman. That thing looks dead on the fucking film. In the right lighting,
I see. Yeah, I saw a picture of that from where you're sitting, and the thing was way behind you. And I was like, "Why is Batman behind you?"
Yeah, see, that's a real looking toy. This is a whole nother level real. I would never buy this one because it's not like Harley Quinn that I like.
Well, I mean, also it's also a San Diego Comic-Con. Like, I guess they're presenting it there. It may not look. I mean, will it look like that when we buy it in stores?
You can't buy those in store. They only come from Hong Kong, and they're $230. So they always look like that.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, like if you're gonna buy a Hot Toys doll, you're gonna get the best. Like Hot Toys should just fucking promote themselves on this channel because I'll do it for them if they don't want to. They're the best toy company to ever exist. I don't care if you have nostalgia for old Star Wars toys or if you have nostalgia for old Ninja Turtles or Masters of the Universe or any of those toy lines. Nothing compares to the quality and realism of a Hot Toys figure.
Yeah.
Is everything they do perfect? Fuck no. Look at their Han Solo and Indiana Jones figures. Garbage. But then look at Harley Quinn. Realistic as fuck.
That is terrifying. I'm gonna turn that off. God.
I'm gonna find you a Jared Leto Joker one too because
No.
it's equally creepy, dude. It's equally creepy. And you know what? He looks so. I don't know if I like his Joker design. Why has the Joker got gold chains? Why does he look like a pimp? Even my mom saw the Suicide Squad thing. She goes, "When did the Joker become a pimp?" She's like, "He's too jive to be the Joker." My mom, my nearly 60-year-old mother, who likes Cesar Romero Joker.
That looks like that's weird. So weird.
Let me give you the final cherry on the sundae, the Will Smith one. The Will Smith doll looks the scariest. Well, almost scariest. I don't know.
Yeah, Will Smith's pretty fucking scary.
Will Smith is scary, but Will Smith the doll looks like little Will Smith is going to be sitting in your house. And if you're not careful, little Will Smith brings little Jaden Smith.
And little Jaden Smith also they all bring in Scientology, and I don't want that. I
Because
just don't
tacos are like emotions.
Of course.
Jeez.
Joel, Dion, do you have anything else to say about DC and what's left?
I got nothing, man. I
that's
just think that they're just
Although I can incredibly disappointed with the costume for the Flash in the still. It's so fucking clanky. He's gonna sound like a fucking industrial printer as he runs around.
Yeah, For a minute, let's just talk about the DC Universe designs real quick. I'm not a fan of anything they put out. The Batman costume is the best, but it's not perfect. I think his neck looks a little small, and I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of that.
I kind of like the outfit for Katana in Suicide Squad.
She looks just like the comic book.
And that's the feel you should really go for. Instead of taking not an artist, but a director's interpretation of the way the costume should look, go for what the fans know. I mean, give homage to the fans.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I always like it best with the Marvel movies when they just take, like, okay, Thor. They took the fucking Oliver Coipel Thor and made it real. All of fucking Asgard looked like it came straight out of a Marvel comic book.
Oh yeah, it was fucking beautiful.
Okay, now Joel, I have a question for you. I'm not the big Flash guy in this group, so this is the Wally West or Barry. This is Barry Allen Flash, right?
This is Barry Allen.
Okay, now what does Barry Allen do for a job?
He is a forensic scientist for the Central City Police Department.
Okay, that's who I thought this one was. Doesn't he look a little young to be doing that?
He looks a little young, and his apartment looks like he's a fucking hacker shut-in.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
from
getting the vibe.
And from the movie, in Batman and Superman, he looked like a stoner.
I hated his appearance in Batman and Superman. How he just kind of fucking appeared.
How do you expect to be like the speedster when everyone can just follow you by the fucking trail of lightning following you? Hey, here comes the Flash. How do you know? Lightning.
My phone quit working. Oh my God.
I think the Flash is a perfect example of the DC problem. It's like a microcosm of that. It's style over substance, but the style's not that good.
Good. Yeah, I like that.
Sit down now. Be quiet.
Well, does anyone have anything else to add?
No.
Are we still going to talk about Star Trek before we end this?
Yes.
Dion, do you want to go so you're not spoiled?
Shit, I want to talk about it, but I really don't want to be spoiled.
Well, do you want to talk
yeah,
about? Do you want to talk about something else so you don't have to get off? Because I can tell you're into this conversation.
I know. I'll leave it up to you, boss man. If you guys want to do the Star Trek thing, I'll just get off. But if you want to talk about something else, I'll stay on board. So I'll leave it up to you, man. Make the call.
I always have the most fun when everyone's here. So do you guys have a topic you want to bring up before we close this out? I mean, I know we just released an episode like a day and a half ago. But fuck it, man. We're world-class bullshitters. And when you have world-class, you got to do it every day.
And you get to bullshit about it.
Oh. Man, these comments are... Damn, the comments heat up on this channel quick now. I don't know if I can handle this. It's okay. I like it. You know... I don't want to keep harping on DC, but fuck, man. I want it to be good. Do you remember a time when the DC movies were...
It's so hard, though, isn't it? It's so hard, though. Because they're doing everything they can to mess it up. They really are.
Here's something. Does not the Superman outfit look wrong without the trunks?
I agree. The thing is...
Somehow, some way,
I agree.
Yeah, for as much as it should look off, somehow Roth, Christopher Reeve, Dean Cain all pulled it off and it looked right.
Because it's how Superman's supposed to look.
Right. Here I come in with this dark, straight blue, patternized outfit.
He looks like a mannequin, dude. He looks like a mannequin. And Jeff, you know how I feel about mannequins.
Wait, no, hold on. Dion, how do you feel about mannequins?
Listen, Nick, fuck you, first of all. Second of all, I'm just saying, shut up. I'm not scared of mannequins. They make me very uneasy. And because they're an imitation of life. And Superman walking around.
If I were to come to your house and put like all these mannequins around your car, what would happen exactly?
I might put you down and kick yourself, maybe.
Yeah, but you can't because you don't have a car.
But I'm just saying, I'd be like, why are these people standing around my car? And then I would be like, shit, they're mannequins. And then I would be like, fuck you, Nick. And then I'd be like, I hate that guy. And then I'd be like, I'm going to Tennessee to kill him.
Leon, I'll tell you this: when you and Hillary have an actual wedding, your gift is going to be a mannequin from me.
And I already hate you.
Me too.
I already hate you guys.
Nick,
I already hate them.
Nick, you know what we should
already
do?
hate it.
I'm going to be in Dion's wedding. What we should do is, even if you don't get an invite, I'm going to bring you with me. And when no one's looking, we're going to replace the entire wedding party with mannequins.
Yeah.
So when Dion and Hillary are looking at each other,
Not getting invited.
Yes.
Nick, you're already not getting. Now that cemented it, that there's no invite for Nick right there.
Hey, Jeff.
God damn it.
hey Joel,
Remember when you first told me about Dion's fear in Miami?
yeah, we sent him all those photos.
Oh, the mannequins in the surf gear?
Yeah, with the giant tits.
Yeah.
God, I hated you guys so much for that. I was just like, I fucking hate my friends.
Dion, the only reason you were mad is because you weren't there.
Touche, sir. I can do that. Touche.
But you know what? You haven't missed a WrestleMania since 30, so it ain't a problem anymore.
Well, still, it is a problem because I fucking hate that I didn't go to that WrestleMania. But that's
That
a
was
whole
great
other
for me.
podcast right there, son.
Oh.
It is a whole other podcast. Since we're talking about comic books, Dion, guess what?
Chicken butt. What?
That too, Daredevil from the TV series is getting a Hot Toys doll. Check it out.
Oh my God! Did you just send it?
Yeah, I'm buying
Yeah.
this fucker.
Dude, I'm gonna come in my pants when I look at this. Hold on. Open it. God damn it.
Now,
Oh
back to it
yeah.
now.
Oh yeah. I'm getting that. I'm getting that.
I'm going to show you a super realistic one that I'm not going to buy, but my God, you talk about quality. This one right here. Tell me if you guys aren't blown away, but just the quality, the craftsmanship.
Yeah, just like in the movie, he's
Holy
not saying
shit,
anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that.
I feel like T800 Mark Hamill is going to be in my living room.
I feel like I should stand here with a lightsaber in my hand, going, "Please take it."
It's so
They
heavy.
even
Just
have,
take it.
they
Just
even
take
have
it.
the
It's so
old
heavy.
man. They've got the old man frown. Like shit. I'm in this movie right now. They have that same frown.
Joel, here's one for you. This is the one I'm going to buy for Joel as a gift.
What the fuck?
What the hell is this?
That's
Like
Batman.
Chinese Batman
Well,
and Bat Munchkin?
that's Robin. I just think DC really needs to reevaluate every motherfucking thing. I don't want them to die because Marvel needs competition. If Marvel never has competition, they'll become the WWE, and
That's-
now the
exactly.
WWE
We just
doesn't have
said that, man.
competition. It's garbage.
Amen.
Hey.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Hey, Jeff, I can give you probably the main culprit involved for all of DC's problems.
What is?
Jim Lee.
Really? You think it's Jim Lee?
Jim Lee came on, and they did the New 52. Jim Lee came on, they did Man of Steel. Ever since Jim Lee showed up at DC, they've made nothing but bad mistakes.
Well, to be fair, Jim Lee's been at DC since like 2000.
He didn't have the control.
Well, he was made yeah, it's true. I can understand him having influence directly on the film or the publishing part, like definitely.
Because basically when he came on, DC became Image 2.0.
But didn't he have some control over the cartoon? He had the Justice League cartoon, right?
No,
That's what I thought I saw.
he wasn't in the
Okay.
picture till after that show had been.
That Tim Bruce.
Bruce Tim.
Tim.
Tim Bruce Tim. It doesn't matter.
Interchangeable
But-
schmuck.
Yeah, because that was what 2001, 2000 through 2003, I think, was for
Yeah.
the Justice League cartoon.
It wasn't until he basically sold his was it Wildstorm
Yeah.
to DC, and they picked up all the characters of Wildcats and
Grifter.
Gen 13, Team 7. That basically it's like, thank you. Here's a promotion. Tell us what you want.
I want that Shrek 2 backpack. That's
I know. Shrek looks so. Why is Shrek so angry? I don't understand that.
because ogres are like
Dude, that backpack is incredible.
I feel like I should own that backpack just to have it, and people be like, "Oh, Shrek, that's not Shrek. That's not Shrek."
naughty Kool-Aid.
Does that mean Rick Jones is oh shit.
Oh, dude, no, I want. What the? Oh God, I can't. It's hilarious.
For the listener that will never see this image, I'm looking up
Sorry.
toys, and I sent a picture of a Ronald McDonald action figure, and on the card he is in a thong with French fries sticking out where his pubes would be.
And the toy has him smiling creepily as he has French fries in his yellow pants.
Let's just say, America, if you ever needed something as nightmare fuel specifically for Ronald McDonald, this is the image for you.
Be happy.
Wait,
you
hold
don't
on,
see it.
Dion, do you all like clowns either? Do I need to dress up the mannequins as clowns and have them around your car now?
No, you need to get
Listen,
mannequins.
you
with
are
horses.
already.
The mannequins have horse heads.
Oh
you
my
are
God.
already on the shit list for the mannequins thing. Don't dig yourself deeper, Nick.
I will.
we were
I will. I'll dig myself to fucking China with this if I have to. It'll be hilarious.
Dig yourself to Samoa.
Samoa's not that far. I can get there tomorrow, but like China is like on the other side of the globe. That's really
I'll give
far.
you 17 hours. You can get to China if you take off right now.
Joel only knows that because of the only little Asian boys. The best ones come from China.
China and Asia are somewhat different.
China.
China's in Asia.
Bing, bing,
I know
bong,
that they're
bing,
somewhat
bing, bong.
different.
Thank you, Dan. I'm so glad you're here.
Okay.
That little bit of that little
Oh, boy.
nugget of information.
They are different.
Misinformation.
I don't know which one of you turd stools fucking started the whole Asian boy shit.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I think it was Phil.
Yeah.
Well, the guy who would actually be on some wanted poster for fucking sexually abusing nursing home senior citizens. Yeah.
But it's so funny. It's just so goddamn funny, Joel.
The awkward silence is what's funny to me.
I'm shaking my fucking head.
I just love how everyone's just like silent, like, yeah, it is pretty funny. Plus, it's like, seeing as how what Joel's doing, that one fits.
Well, maybe Joel shouldn't be known as the resident DC expert first. He should be your friendly neighborhood sex offender, and then your resident DC expert.
Hey kids, you want to read some Superman?
I'll take my Fortress of Solitude. Give you my kryptonite spear.
Why did you paint your dick green?
It's not paint.
And why did you glow in the dark? I'm so confused.
You won't be here in a minute.
Do you think Marvel could fail as spectacularly as the GC movies? What do you think Doctor Strange could be their first flop?
No, even if it is, like, even if Doctor Strange is bad, everyone is so geeked for Infinity Wars. I mean,
to be honest,
go ahead,
like,
Nick.
I don't know what Doctor Strange's powers are. I've seen the trailer. I kind of know, but I don't know exactly.
Well, that's okay.
He's a wizard, bro. He's a wizard, man. You're a wizard, Harry. That's it. That's it.
You're a wizard, Steven.
No, but I mean, it to me, it seems like he can travel in between parallel universes. Like, that seems like what he does. But I don't know how. I just don't know.
For me, I think Stephen Strange, going back to that whole small snippet for DC, Stephen Strange, that movie specifically for comic book fans of Marvel. That one is just them saying, hey, we know he's important. He's going to be in the movie, guys. And they know it's not going to be a hugely successful movie. It'll make more than its budget, but it's not going to be, it's not going to be fucking Civil War. And they know that. I think that one specifically is for the fans to come see, to wrap up the story. But even so, I think that it's going to be good because it's a fucking universe that already exists, and they know it, and they're just going to fucking follow what they already know, and it's going to work. It's just going to work.
Yep, and like you said, man, Infinity War is what's going to get people to come back. Marvel's almost fail-proof at this point. You got Spider-Man, and everyone's like, "Ooh, Spider-Man! I'm gonna go see it no matter what." I don't think that movie's gonna be a huge hit.
I agree. I think they may, because Hillary brought it up earlier. She was like, "Well, do you think Daredevil's gonna be in Homecoming?" I'm just like, dude. I mean, their relationship in the comic book, the way that that Marvel Studios knows their product, they may do it. And I think that I'm not saying that to just kind of like bring it up in the conversation. I think that it just proves to you that everything that has happened as far as movies and TV fits the mold. In DC, everything that they have done from movies to TV is opposite of that. From the CW shows to the movies, nothing fucking fits. It's just...
I was just say, I don't think they're going to have that relationship because Marvel's painted themselves into a corner of having such a young Spider-Man that, yeah, I know people are going to argue, well, Jeff, Spider-Man and Daredevil met early on in the careers of each character. I understand. I think they met within the first 15 to 20 issues of The Amazing Spider-Man when Steve Ditko drew the book. They met at the fucking carnival or the circus.
Yeah,
not
just
arguing
when
that shit.
Spider-Man thought that Daredevil attacked someone or something like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you have a little kid that is obviously a child with his voice and stuff, you kind of you write him out of certain situations that the audience finds believable. That's why I think that golden age, and I don't mean the golden age of comics, I mean like that golden age range for Spider-Man is like 19 years old. He's close enough to be an adult because he's essentially done growing, but he's still a kid. Like, all of us at 19 years old were still kids. Joel, at 45 years old, you're still a kid, so you know what happens. But when he's so young, so little, and they picked the most small, childlike Spider-Man. He is basically Spider-Man Ultimate cartoon version that's a whole nother can of worms. I'm sorry, I don't want to get into that.
No, I think, but again, you know what I mean? It's not that you don't want to get into that. You can, because the universe is so good right now. So every little aspect has a play in terms of the movie. For the only reason I bring it up for Daredevil is because it's just proximity's sake. They're both in New York. That's really the only thing that they would have, and then they would build on that. But even kind of building up what you were saying before, that's why the MCU is so good. There are so many small details that are going to build into something better. Even with fucking Jessica Jones. Luke Cage and her are banging. That's true. But why are they doing that? Because they're going to come up with the fucking Defenders. They released the Defenders teaser. And it's like, that whole thing is specifically for Defenders. And it just fucking works, man. Marvel Studios and Netflix have a relationship that works. The formula is working. There's nothing that they can do to fuck this up.
Dion.
Yes, sir. Touche. That's the one fuck up. I'll give you that. Touche. I will give you that.
Check out this image, guys. They released the first concept image for Spider-Man fighting the Vulture.
Who's playing the Vulture, do you know?
Michael Keaton.
Oh. Because he was Birdman.
And first he was Bat. I'm not loving that design, are you?
No.
That's weird.
It makes me like
all you gotta do is shoot webs into the freaking
fans, and then
fans, and that boy's gonna go out of control.
Yeah. It makes me like the Spider-Man costume a little more, but I really wish they would just get rid of. If we
the
look,
lines,
the black shoulder lines, the black arrows on there, and the boots, and let's put the web shooters underneath the gloves like Spider-Man always has. Let's get some more comic book artists.
A target.
What? He looks like a villain from Metal Gear Solid.
Well, I mean, they obviously have them on top of the costumes so they can sell them at Toys R Us whenever the movie comes out. So
let's be fair though, they've always had those toys even before Spider-Man had a first movie. From the 1994 cartoon, you could get web shooter toys. For the Tobey Maguire movies, they had the web shooter toys. Hell, I was in high school and I bought one for Spider-Man 3 because it was on clearance at like $6 at Kroger.
Yeah,
Kroger.
I've never liked the fucking outer web shooters. It didn't work on the Nicholas Hammond costume from the 70s. And the belt, I'm not in love with the belt either. Just kind of look real.
It's I don't know. It looks kind of like a belt.
Oh no, that's the same costume for in Civil War. He's got his web shooter or web cartridges on it. They showed it.
Yeah, okay, that's what my shit that someone can like pickpocket if I'm not paying attention.
He's got got spider sense.
No, that's against danger and harm to him. If someone's just coming up to pickpocket him, that spider sense shouldn't go off.
No, it does, because people tried to rob him.
It does. This happened before. He anything that's a threat. It's just a generalistic thing that they made in the comic books. Anything that's a threat, whether it's minor or not,
Hell,
goes
even
off.
Aunt
And
May.
that's why.
So like, I mean, what if he goes to the bank and like the banker is, stealing money from him? Is his spider sense gonna go off? Like, how does it work? Oh, really? Oh, shit.
That's why Venom was so crazy, because Venom could walk up to, or I guess Eddie Brock could walk up to him and do anything, and he didn't see it come. That's why Venom and Carnage were such great characters, because no matter what,
take off Carnage, dude.
Carnage couldn't set off his spider sense, could he?
No, take off Carnage is a great character.
I-
I'm even gonna
awesome.
say take off Carnage is not awesome. Carnage is a byproduct of the '90s extreme bro era of comics. There's nothing
But even now, like, there's no like pure serial killer.
because
Joker. He was the
nowadays,
Joker merged with Venom.
because look at nowadays Spider-Man fights.
Still,
He fights Iron
Still.
Man and this black guy named Regent. Spider-Man is the worst comic book out right now. I've read it. I caught up. It is garbage. If you at least
saying even not
Spider-Man
now.
dead,
Obviously now Marvel's kind of shitty right now.
kinda, extremely.
Yes, they are.
The
Captain
comic book
America's a
industry
fucking
in
Nazi.
general is
Thor's a
shitty.
woman. Iron Man's a black girl named Riri, which is a whole other fucking issue, which you can hear on our channel. I went off when I heard about it, and I've been called a fucking white supremacist. Motherfuckers, I'm not white. How many times do I gotta say it? There's a picture of me on our fucking channel. If you can't find it, you're a fucking idiot. So stop using that whole "you hate black people" argument. I don't hate black people. I'd hate myself if I hated black people. Fuck you. But back to this.
You would only hate half yourself.
Yeah, well, the good half. Fuck that. No, listen. Marvel is just so stupid. Daredevil's garbage. The Fantastic Four aren't even a thing. The X-Men are getting wiped out. This whole Civil War 2 is retarded. Fuck everybody at Marvel. I wish you would all get fucking fired. I don't want you to die. I just want you to all lose your fucking jobs. I want somebody with creativity to come in there. Get rid of Brian Michael Bendis. Get rid of all you motherfucking overrated writers. You're so high on yourselves, you think your shit don't stink. You produce shit that I have to read on a monthly basis. You've taken out the one form of art that I enjoyed, comic books. You've killed that because of your pretentiousness. Write a quality fucking story. This is targeted mostly at you, Dan Slott. You fucking human paraquat. You are the worst excuse for a fucking writer. I'm sorry. I'm done.
In this, I blame Disney.
You know what? I'll go with that, because I didn't hate Spider-Man until about 2 years ago, after the constant renumberings and reboots. Like, I was so into the fucking Superior Spider-Man when Doc Ock took over. And then he became Peter Parker again. I was cool. And then it got dumb. The fact that I pick up an issue of Spider-Man and he's in China dealing with his multi-billion-dollar business is retarded.
What?
There's an issue of Spider-Man where he's in fucking China, then he goes to England, then he goes to outer space, and he fucking jumps from orbit and uses a web parachute to land safely. I liked it better when Spider-Man could barely make rent. That was the more interesting character, not I'm gonna jump around the fucking world like I'm Iron Man. What the fuck is this? And then the latest issue, Mary Jane puts on the Iron Spider armor and fights the bad guy alongside Iron Man. When the fuck did Mary Jane become a superhero?
Same thing with Gwen.
Oh, don't get me started.
That was the alternate universe though. It wasn't
Yeah,
like a
but
real
there's Spider Gwen, and now there's Gwenpool.
Look it.
That was an alternate. That doesn't count. That's
Yeah,
the alternate universe thing.
No, Dion, they've all crossed over into the main line.
Then
God damn
Secret
it.
Wars. The Secret Wars Battle World.
Don't get me started on Secret. Don't even get me started on Secret
Get
Wars.
started, motherfucker. I want to hear it.
Jeff knows I was excited for that. I fucking went to my comic book store. I was like, when are they gonna have the fucking trade back for it, or the hardcover for it? Oh, it's gonna be in March. And I fucking waited, and like a smart consumer, I read it, and to fucking find out that the secret, they're not. It's it's gonna be the two universes, Ultimate and Amazing, are colliding, and they're gonna fight. To find out that's the fucking first 3 pages of the fucking storyline pissed me off. Then, on top of that bullshit, you come to find out it's Doctor Doom and Mr. Fantastic. It's about those motherfuckers. If there's any combination of characters that I care the less about, It's fucking Doctor Doom and Mr. fucking Fantastic. Oh, his kids are with Black Panther and the spaceship splits in half, and then the whole story is Mr. Fantastic groveling the whole fucking time. Are you kidding me? You have an opportunity to have heroes fighting heroes, and you end it in the first 3 fucking pages. Marvel, go fuck yourselves. Go fuck your. And then the end of the storyline is just, oh, Doctor Doom, they're fighting, and he's like, you know, Victor, that I was better than you. He's like, yeah, I know. I hate you for it. I'm like, get out of here with this fucking Degrassi bullshit. This is stupid. Fuck you, Marvel. This is bullshit. And then I almost paid to buy that. I almost paid to buy that for a fucking teen drama. I almost bought a teen drama version of the franchise Marvel that I fucking love. Fuck you, Marvel. That's bullshit. That was lazy writing. You had an opportunity to have Ultimate Universe fighting the Amazing Universe. It would have been awesome, and you spat in my face. Fuck you.
I've never read a more unlikable crossover event. And I've been I may be 27, but I've read comics from the 50s. Actually, I've read comics from the 30s to today. Tons of them. I've never read a period of Marvel. Clearly, Marvel wasn't around in the 30s. I've never read a period of Marvel, though, that's so bad and unlikable on every level. You've taken every character I've liked and turned them into something else. Not necessarily turning a white guy into a black woman, which is retarded, but you've taken, like, Daredevil. I love Daredevil. Mark Waid's Daredevil, phenomenal. What the fuck happened? It's not good anymore. You took Spider-Man, my favorite comic book character ever. He's just a shell. I don't even like the Fantastic Four that much, but I could get into their stories because I liked the family dynamic. That's gone. The X-Men is one of the hardest titles to get into unless you have a good jumping on point. And I thought I did with AVX, and then I got into that whole vampire storyline. Remember that, Joel, where Jubilee became a vampire?
Yep.
I was into all that, but you pissed that away. You made Iceman gay for like political reasons. You ruin and change characters on a whim to get noticed on CNN for part of a 24-hour news cycle, and then you just go away. I'm cool with you killing off a character to make some sales, and then how the world deals with them, and then they come back, and then they're better than ever.
And how they treat X-Men Fantastic Four all boils down to, we don't own the movie rights, so we're going to shit on them until no one buys the books. No one cares about anything released by these companies. I mean, hell, they're not doing it to Spider-Man because they wheeled and dealed with Sony to share them.
And Spider-Man's just way too big, dude. You could never. I mean, Spider-Man and Marvel are synonymous. Batman,
I don't know. They kind of shit on them on Whole New Day, I thought. Stupid.
You didn't read Whole New Day, did you?
Well, no. It was the story that led up to Whole New Day. The whole, I'm going to tell the world that I'm Peter Parker because Tony Stark thought it would be a good idea.
Oh, you mean Civil War?
Well, that part of Civil War that led up to him making a deal with the devil to make everyone.
Oh, that's one more, Jay. That's a bad storyline, dude. Joe Quesada is a fucking cancer to Spider-Man.
Quesada's a cancer to the comics.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was nice when DC and Marvel worked together in the 90s. They had the Amalgam Universe.
And he came in and said, fuck all that. I hate DC.
But I think right there, you just solved their problem, Jeff. You just solved their problem. If they really wanted to make a name for themselves, if you're not going to make your own universe, wait till after Infinity Wars, boom. Try to do something together.
Yeah, well,
because right now, you've proven that you can't.
Disney against Warner Brothers.
So this, if anything, 20th Century Fox combining with Disney to make money off of Spider-Man, it's gonna happen. It does well. And if you want to make comic books relevant, just fucking wait and then let Marvel Studios help you make a movie. That's it.
I'd watch that.
You'd buy that for $1.
I would buy. Look, I won't even buy any of these Marvel or DC books for $1. They're fucking garbage. I hate to be that guy that shits on everything. Somebody's gonna comment and go, "Oh, but Squirrel Girl's good." No, you're a fucking idiot if you're gonna honestly tell me Squirrel Girl's a good comic book. It's not. It's a fucking. It's like saying Deadpool is truly a. I don't know. Renaissance man. There you go. No, he's a fucking joke character. Yeah, he's got some more depth than I give him credit for, but at the end of the day, he's kind of a joke. I don't see comic books lasting.
Kinda.
Yeah, well,
kinda.
He's a big joke. But look, I don't see comic books lasting forever, and I think it's going to be.
See, I do, but it's not. They can last forever. It's a great medium. The problem is the dumb motherfuckers that control them. You know, you have something that's outside of science fiction. You have something that's outside of the standard movie fantasy. It's something that's different and it's really good. But fucking they try to ruin it, dude. They're trying to ruin it.
Let me throw something at you real quick. So you said it's a medium that you don't think will die. Okay, here's my problem with comic books. Publishers. They're trying to target the audience that doesn't want to read a comic book. Those are the people that want to go play Pokemon Go and watch YouTube videos. And the only reading they do outside of school, because they're so fucking young, is whatever's on their Facebook feed. I saw this great study on one of these legitimate comic book sites that said the average reader's like, it said it was white males between like 30 to 60. Now, the dudes I see in the comic book store fit that demographic. You get some of the younger people that read the newer books, but you mostly got a lot of older dudes that got a big stack. A lot of businessmen that grew up reading comics have these big stacks of books, 60. Joel, you're the perfect example. When we hung out, you would spend $50 a week at the comic book store. Then we'd go to the coffee shop and you'd read them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, you're the guy that spends $50 a week. They're so focused on the kid that would maybe spend $10 a month to maybe pick up Deadpool and something
because they want them to turn into me.
But they're
not going to get it.
Because those kids have so many distractions. Let's say you had a son right now, Joel, that was into comic books. You and that son would talk about comics, he would inherit your books, and then he would continue to read the books.
No, he would work for those books. I got shit he needs to do.
Well, when he's a little... You killed that. No, but when he's a little kid, you're going to be like, hey, here's a fucking Batman the Animated Series comic. Here's this, here's that. And that kid's going to get to know those characters a certain way. Then they're going to hit a certain age and go, well, everything's changed. So I don't like this anymore. So then they leave and they won't come back. Joel, we may hem and haw around the subject of like, oh, comic books are bad. But I don't think anything major could make us come back to them. I don't know how you feel, Dion. Tell me.
No.
I mean, I just...
Give him eyes, don't get that.
It's a mixed feeling. Because, I mean, right now, for me, I'm kind of trying to stay away, which is kind of fucked up. Stay away from major Marvel stuff right now. But... I don't know, man. It's like a love-hate relationship right now. It really is. And maybe that's the problem, is that they're trying to go off of this nostalgia thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, we can experiment with something that you love, and you'll stick with it because you love it. And I'm totally falling in that category. And but again, I'm getting fed up, man. I'm getting fed up, and it's just every time, again. I get that you want to be relevant. I understand that. I really do. But when you have no creative resurgence, we'll do this thing and we'll just change the sexes. That's not you being progressive. That's you taking the cop-out card.
Pandering, yeah.
Exactly. That's you pandering. Making Iron Man a woman, you could have made a whole new character. You could have made a character that was a woman that happened to be black or happened to be a woman, and people would have liked it. But no, the reason you picked Iron Man is because he's topical and that he's in these big movies. That's the only reason you did it. You didn't do it because you were trying to change comic books. You didn't do it because you were trying to create something new. You did it because it's a recognizable character. Hey, he's a woman and she's black now. That's the only reason you did the same thing. Yeah.
And because he's the last white major league Marvel hero that's male.
No, I mean, Spider-Man's. Wait, no, they have Miles
No,
Morales.
they
You're
have
right.
him, but they're going to focus on Miles more than anything in the future.
Right, you're right. Exactly. And even then, it's like I get that there are issues that you want to touch on. I get that. But just make new characters. You have the ability to make new characters. Do that. And it pisses me off that, oh, we're going to do things because it's easy. You're not doing something good for comic books. You're making people angry and trying to feed off of that. That's what you're doing. That's it. That's it. And it pisses me off, man. It really, not only that, but you and Jeff knows Iron Man's one of my favorite fucking characters. That's why when he and Dustin, which America, feel free to go and listen to that episode, Jeff's like, no, Dion's going to be pissed. And he's right, because you didn't change him to get people like me to read the story. You change him because, well, people like Dion who love Iron Man are going to go to it because, hey, it's a woman and she's black. I don't want to read fucking Black Iron Man. I don't want to read Black Woman Iron Man. I want to read Iron Man. Give me a new character that's a black and that's a woman. That's it. It's not hard. I'm not asking you to make a new fucking medium. Just do what you do and do it well. That's it. That's all I'm asking as a comic book fan. That's all I'm asking.
One other thing I'd like to add about the comic book rant, they released this big image like, oh, you can work for Marvel. Oh, you can do this. We want to have our fans work for us. But they don't want American fans to work for them. This is only in the Philippines. They're only hiring international artists to work at Marvel. I think that's some bullshit.
What?
They work for less.
I understand that, but man, it's kind of stupid. You can't even get. Look,
that's
I'm not.
really, that's really gonna look bad on them.
Oh, I'm not. Look, I am not Mr. Pro America. You don't really hear me rallying like, oh, we need to do this America. Like, I support Donald Trump ironically because whatever.
He's not Hillary.
He's not Hillary, and it's a fucking joke at the end of the day. My point is though. Like, that's another reason I can't get behind Marvel. You won't hire any American artists. You got to get these out-of-country people just because they're cheap. Like, you know what? Get good creators. I don't give a fuck where they come from, but at least look at these American people. Okay?
But even then, I mean, like, they have the money now to hire Americans if they really want to. They've got the fucking money.
And
it's okay.
Sucks nowadays, though. That's the thing. Like, Spider-Man, all the characters look stupid. Between Umberto Ramos and this Giuseppe Caminoli dude, or whatever his fucking name is, the artwork is garbage. Everyone looks like a fucking block. I don't like it.
Well, I mean, even then, like with Dion, about the comic books, like they're pandering to the wrong audience. The kids who play Pokemon Go and are on Snapchat are not gonna buy fucking comics. And plus, like they need to go after people who are like Joel because they have money, they have jobs, they have disposable income. Do that. That's good business.
And they're dedicated.
Yes, exactly. They're fucking
Joel's a
dedicated.
36-year-old fan, a fan of comics for 36 years.
They're the ones who are going to fund, your comics and all that stuff. Why not pander to them? Don't pander to the people who don't have a fucking income. That's dumb.
They live in their mom's basements.
Look, when comics were good, in my opinion, up until they did the whole Spider-Verse thing. So we're talking, a year and a half, 2 years ago now. I was in the comic book store every fucking week. Joel knows. When he lived here, we went to the comic book store every Wednesday. And when we missed it, we went on Thursday or Friday. Point is, you couldn't keep me out of that fucking store. And I wasn't just picking up one book. I was picking up 3, 4, 10 books. It just depended on the week. When I went away to college, Dion, when you first met me, I would come home to about 30 or 40 comic books waiting on me. We're talking large sums of money.
How much roughly, like at approximation?
Like price or how many books?
How price? Like how much money would you spend roughly?
When Joel and I were doing it, say $30 a week.
$30 a week. Okay, all right.
And then over at my height, though, I would spend like $60 a week. When I worked for 7-Up, I hated my job, so I spent all my money on comic books, so I'd have something to do for fun. And we're talking like $100 a week, and I was buying all kinds of shit.
Okay, so like the middle ground is like 70, 75 then.
Yeah, they lost
in between
me.
There. I mean, you're talking $75 a week from one person. That's a fucking lot. That's a lot of money for one person to spend a week on comics. Like that is a lot. And I mean, that says it right there. That you had faith in it. You bought them. You read them. You loved them. And now that they've all gone to shit and been pandering to fucking what did you say, the loud minority?
Yeah, the vocal minority.
The vocal minority. It's just like that's not good business at all. That is fucking horrible business. Why are you doing that?
Because they want to seem socially conscious and all this other dumb shit.
Yeah, that socially conscious bullshit will not last. It will not fucking last. and that's dumb. Like they're gonna ruin comics. I'm a deal. They will ruin fucking comics by doing it that way.
They've already ruined comic books. I'm a guy. I literally have thousands of books.
I've got some old ones. All mine are old horror, anthology comics, and I love those to death. And they're I love the way they're drawn and the way that they look and everything. That I love all that stuff, And they don't. As far as I know, I don't think they make those anymore.
No, they don't. I mean, they were reprinting Eerie and Creepy for a while, and maybe they'd throw a few new stories in here and there, but those kind of books are very few and far between. What I miss is a fucking comic book that tells a story in a single issue.
Yeah, exactly.
That hasn't existed in 10 years. You guys know that, Joel and Dion.
Yeah.
Well, I'm exhausted talking about this shit. We covered the Justice League trailer, the Wonder Woman trailer, why we think Suicide Squad looks either good or shitty, the amazing Hot Toys dolls that you can look by Googling Hot Toys SDCC 2016, and we talked about Marvel and how they suck dickhole. Anything else you guys like to add?
No, I'm good.
I'm pretty wiped.
I can tell.
I got nothing, guys. The only thing I'll say is this. Going off of what you guys said, again, my colleagues are very smart, America, so go fuck yourselves. But everything that we've said, whether it's Hollywood, DC, Disney with Star Wars, this is the fucking problem. When you have people paid to make a product to get people to watch, and you focus on one thing, and you either blatantly ignore a facet of your audience or a facet of your storyline or pre-existing material, you make something fucking shitty. And I'll say this, Jeff and I have been saying this for years, and the bullshitters have been saying this for years. In 5 years, people will look back on Star Wars and say, this is fucking pretty bad. 5 years from now, people are going to look back on Justice League and be like, yeah, this is pretty fucking bad. This is the problem. You want to be this. And again, I consider myself someone that's kind of progressive and cognizant of this bullshit with, social justice and all this bullshit. But people who are dumb follow these SJW motherfuckers and don't give a fuck about what they're doing. And this is the fucking problem with Hollywood. They don't care. They make dumb shit and then go fuck themselves in the asshole. That's all I got.
Those are strong words, Dion, and I agree 100% with you.
Hear, hear.
Touche.
All right.
And again, this Jeff, Dustin, and I have many in-depth conversations, and it's mainly because we like each other and we like to argue. But even I can admit, this is you being fucking dumb. And when you fuck with something that I care about, you're gonna piss me the fuck off. And Justice League, you're pissing me off. Zack Snyder, you're pissing me off. WB, you're pissing me off. And I swear to God, I'm not going to give you a hand job, but I may just break your shit right the fuck off. And it's going to happen. And you've asked for it, and you deserve it.
All right, well, that's the final word. I've been Jeff Hicks.
I'm Dion Green, the man with the plan, the original tan, and your mom is welcome.
I've been your friendly neighborhood Samoan.
And I'm Mr. DC.
Dan died?
Dan
No,
died.
Dan's here.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Dan.
Dan
back
never will
dead.
die.
I don't know if I agree
and
with
before
that.
we end,
Yeah.
And before we end, my mom specifically wanted you to know she's very pissed at you, Jeff, for coming into town and not saying hello to her. So, America, there is one black woman who is increasingly mad at Jeff. So, just so you know.
Well, I will see her next time, and I'll give her a hug. How's that?
Deal.
You should
Deal.
give her
She'll live with
a
that.
world class bullshitters t-shirt.
Or send her a Dion Green hand job.
Or I should send her a Dion Green family abortionist t-shirt. Let's see how she likes that. She's like, I don't know why.
Highest selling shirt in WCBS history.
I'm surprised that Shitbusters is the highest selling shirt in World Class Bullshitters history.
I'm really not. I'm not surprised that is the highest selling shirt because it's a shitty movie.
That shirt has officially reached international levels. There is one on its way to Austria as we speak.
Nice.
Yeah.
God
Well,
damn.
anyway, guys, this was an impromptu episode. We were gonna review Star Trek. Before we go, let's tell you what we thought of it. Sorry, we all went to see Star Trek. I give it like an 8.5. I really liked it.
So did
everyone-
I put that on before. It was a good movie, 8.5. I like it. Gave a little homage to the original series by having that picture. That we'll review at a later time.
Back when Joel was only 30.
I thought it was okay. For me, it was lacking from the last two movies.
I don't.
I give it an 8.
I would rank it number 3 of the new Star Trek trilogy, but that is in no way a dig. It's like I said, it's a great movie. I love the second one, I love the first one, and I love this one. If you're in the market for some entertainment this weekend, you should go see Star Trek Beyond. It's funny. It's not that emotional, except when somebody dies. Great action, great effects, great performances. It's kind of weird to see Anton Yelchin such a big part of this movie, but he's dead now.
Just like Spock.
Yes.
I guess we should say Phil gives it a 7 because Phil's an idiot.
Hey, the words of Dan have been spoken, and this has been World Class Bullshitters. Check us out on Thursday night for our weekly show where I read fan mail. We'll talk about the week in review. We'll have some kind of topic. And this coming Monday, if you've made it this far into our episode, this is the 2-hour and 3-minute mark roughly. Monday morning, I will have a rant. Well, maybe Monday afternoon. Monday, I will have a rant for you on why I think Rogue One is a terrible idea, where this franchise of Star Wars is going, and how it will be dead in 5 years. So, like this video, subscribe, check out the sponsor, incarnate-studios.com, get the shirt, join the Hall of Fame, write us an email at worldclassbs@mail.com, the best mail,
.com.
send us a tweet, join our Facebook group, become a fan. You will be entertained.
Comment on the videos when you subscribe, begging Dion for your hand job.
Oh, he's been. You should see his right arm. It is so jacked compared to his left. It's like that scene in Family Guy where Quagmire discovers internet porn.
And I tell you what, go on to your parents or your sisters or your wife's YouTube accounts, subscribe, like us on Facebook that way too. The more the merrier.
Fuck yeah. Joel Hastings, you get the last word.
Balls.